Yeah, I was gonna say I usually get those too.
Yeah, it's usually comes up. See if it does now. Is that? It's unfortunate. Luckily, good thing you said something before we went like an hour.
I know. Oh, here it goes. Okay, we're good.
Oh yeah, I just got the notification.
Yeah, it definitely. It's probably because they updated. Keep talking.
Well, I'm not gonna say exactly what I just said,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
That's okay. What's going on, guys? I'm gonna run through some stuff real quick again. We had a little technical difficulty that hasn't happened. We haven't had a difficulty in a minute, man. But basically, YouTube updated their streaming platform, like the behind the scenes of their whole like live streaming deck and whatnot, and apparently my stream key that they gave me needed to be updated as well. So that's what I just did real quick. So if you're new here, this is the Detox Podcast. You can connect with me. My name is Darren Rita. I need the links down below. If you enjoy music, comedy, podcasts, do consider subscribing. We're like 70 something away from hitting 600. So it would really help me out if you did that. I think we can build something really special here. With that being said, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about car insurance. These days, it seems as if we're able to do more and more from home. So while you're at home, why aren't you saving money on your car insurance? Your hometown agency, Kenosha Auto Insurance, specialized for years in simple, hassle-free car insurance using the latest and touch-free technology to help you and your family get the best rates. So what are you waiting for? Give them a call today at 262-448-4141. That's 448-4141. The website is kenoshains.com. One last time, that's 262-448-4141. And let them know that D. Rita Detox sent you. They will set you up great. I promise you, the worst that could happen is that you get the best rates. With that being said, I'm excited to reintroduce now. This is the second time I'm reintroducing you, I guess, because I already did once, and we were 20 minutes into a show, but here we are again. One of our best guests that we had on the last season, if you will, of Detox last year. And you guys loved him so much that you ended up voting for him to win an award for the most inspiring episode at our Chatty Award ceremony. So if you still don't know who I'm talking about, you might know him or recognize him from the Kenosha News. Let's give a wet Detox welcome to Dan Truttschel. Clap track. Enter clap track. We'll get that situated before next week, maybe. Or December, max. Coach D, how you been, man?
Good. How are you? How are you guys doing? I feel like I've seen this movie before.
Yeah, we gotta now it's like scripted. The whole podcast. We're just rereading off.
It was just a rehearsal.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, we were just getting the ball rolling. No, it is really great to have you back, and it feels weird like repeating that again, but I do mean it. And I know we were talking while we thought we were on air about you sort of now you're almost 2 years into your weight loss journey and stuff. And we're not going to stick on that the whole time, but it's incredible to see how far you've come, and you've got surgery 5 weeks out from today.
Yeah.
To kind of start closing that up.
Right. Yeah. November 17th, I'll be at UW Hospital in Madison and having surgery on a hernia that I've had for a while and skin removal.
Yeah.
It's called a paniculectomy. You have to look that one up because I can't spell it.
I was going to say, I don't even know how to spell it. I'm going to have to ask Siri.
I finally was able to say it. But basically, the long and short of it is they're going to remove the loose skin in my middle because there's nothing in there except skin now. So
yeah.
I've gone pretty much as far as I can go without that. So that'll finish the journey. I told you guys before we got on the air, I'm going to be down to 205 pounds.
205
Yeah.
from 420 people.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
It is crazy. I mean, I'm wearing some clothes that I've gone through several variations of clothing. And
what size? I don't know if you. I mean, you seem pretty open about everything. So, what size T-shirt were you wearing before?
I found
when I
went through my stuff, I found 5 and 6X shirts.
Jesus.
I found a 6X jacket.
And what are you in now?
XL shirts,
okay.
and some larges. Some larges do fit depending on the cut. Mm-hmm. And I have a pair in my closet that I'm going to keep forever. 54-inch jeans.
Wow.
I'm wearing 38s and they're loose. So
Jesus.
Yeah, I could probably squeeze into a 36 if I had to.
How was like getting? I don't know if I asked you about this the last time. How was like switching clothes, like having to like keep buying new clothing during the process? Because you had to have stuff to wear.
Yeah,
right?
It was a little intimidating, but as it was happening, and I'd go check in at the clinic, and the girls would be like, "Dude, you know, I'm a single guy. I'm helpless. I got holes in my socks sometimes. I don't know. I'm a bachelor.
Not matching. Yeah. You just
come on now." And so as it was going on, I started like understanding that I needed to do that. Mm-hmm. So Goodwill became a good friend of mine.
Goodwill,
I am
Goodwill's
a really good Goodwill shopper.
Yeah.
I can seek out the deals that way, because you don't want to spend a lot of money. I'm gonna wait until this is done, because I think I'm gonna settle in. I'm gonna go down to about 205, and I want to get back up to about 215 in muscle. That's my goal.
Gotcha.
My doctor said 220 is perfect for me.
Yeah, I've already seen that last time.
because I'm 6'1", so I don't want to be like skinny, you know. But so I think if I can get back up and so once I get to that, I'm going to settle in. Then it's maintenance. I'm not trying to lose anymore.
Then you can go shopping for the nicer stuff.
Yeah.
Get you a nice leather jacket.
Look at me all
some
dapper
cool
and stuff.
Yeah.
Get a scarf and all that
Oh,
good stuff.
sweet.
Right,
Be
look at all.
swagged out.
You guys would never even recognize me as like I was always like the athletic pants. And
That would freak me out.
it
for
would
sure.
it'd freak me out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Who's this guy?
Yeah, exactly. That's funny that you say Goodwill. We just went thrifting
Love
this
it.
weekend.
It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, Goodwill, Plato's Closet. What's the other one? I think Salvation Army. They got clothes at some of them too.
I did an interview at St. Vincent's for a story a couple weeks ago, and before I left, I bought 2 shirts for $6. Two
That's a
polos.
deal.
It was perfect.
That's a deal.
And the woman I interviewed, she's like, "Oh, cool." I'm like, "Well, yeah. While I'm here,
Yeah, I got this for $5.
yeah,
A
absolutely."
couple days ago. Yeah, so you got to exploit the deals when they're there. We were talking too along the same lines. Bucket list. We talked last time you were on the show, and you said you want to go skydiving. Haven't gotten to that yet, but you did check something off the list, and that was walking around Lake Geneva.
Yeah, it was
entire
awesome.
lake.
Yeah, 22 miles. Did it on a Sunday about a month ago. A couple of my high school and college friends live right around the area here, so we decided we were going to go do it on a Sunday, and we ventured off a little bit after 8 o'clock in the morning, and off we went, and it took total time is about 8 hours of almost 50,000 steps. We tracked it on our phones. 50,000 steps, just shy as like 49.8.
And you're 6'1". Those aren't small little
Right,
strides, right? That's
a lot of steps.
50,000.
The paths are so cool, and the homes. Like I lived in Lake Geneva for 15 years. I worked there for 15 years. I kind of got tone deaf to the beauty of Lake Geneva because I worked 2 blocks from downtown.
Yeah.
I saw the lake every day. I saw Stone Manor all the time. It just I got kind of tone deaf to it. But when you see them again from a different perspective, it's pretty cool. There's some houses there.
Oh yeah, I actually filmed a little visualizer thing for one of my songs out on that path. We found there was one opening and the sun was setting, so we filmed a thing
Beautiful.
there. But yeah, it's I've never been around the whole lake. I've done the Alzheimer walk, and I think that they have intervals of you can do 1 mile or a couple miles. I
Right.
think we did a couple and that was it. So I've never done it.
It was fun. It was a fun experience, and to be able to finish it and check that thing off was fun. It felt like a good accomplishment.
22 miles. It's almost a marathon.
It's a long walk.
Would you do a marathon?
I'm not much of a runner, although I did. Surprisingly enough, one of the classes at the gym, the trainer had us running on the treadmill. I'm like, oh, this is where I fall down and hit my face.
Yeah.
Because they make fun of me all the time. Like I'm a klutz. I've fallen off a spin bike that wasn't moving. Right.
That can be painful.
Right off the back of the
Damn.
spin bike, not even moving. I've fallen into tires. I'm a klutz, and so when the trainers had us getting on and he's like, okay, you guys are running for 2 minutes. I'm like, running on this thing? But I was able to do it, but I'm not much of a runner. I'm more of a walker.
Gotcha.
Just because of the knees and stuff. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't even like running if I'm being chased, Aaron. I mean,
That's
come on,
fair.
That's
fair. Running was always for me. It's the punishment. I always made fun of cross
Coach E
country
putting you
people.
guys on the line.
Oh
he's
yeah,
mad.
yeah. I hate that, especially I got jacked knees too. So I always hate the constant
Yeah.
stopping and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, playing basketball, so you gotta get over it. But I always made fun of cross country people and sometimes track people, where the whole sport is the punishment for my sport.
Right.
I don't I'm where's the fun?
Right.
Where is it fun to
Just
do
running.
that?
Ugh.
Yeah, no, running's not for me. Not at all.
There's some things I wanted to do this year that the coronavirus took away. Some
Yeah.
competitions. and
Speaking to
things.
everybody right
Right,
there.
you know. There's the race out at Wilmot, the Rugged Maniac. We were all signed up to do that from the gym, and that got canceled. So that's on my list for 2021.
Oh, that's that.
It's like a 5K, but with obstacles and
Yeah, it's
mud
like a
and
gladiator run
yeah, you're
thing,
climbing
yeah.
walls and you're doing all
They do
kinds
that.
of
They do
craziness.
one over in Wilmot.
Yeah, Wilmot Mountain. That's
Oh,
the gym, Body by Design, where I go, had a team all signed up to
cool.
go. I was going to do it.
Yeah.
But then it got canceled. So we're eyeing that for next year for sure, because that's something I want to do. to be able to just complete that would be fun. You know,
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
gonna get all muddy and stuff, but that's okay. You know,
Yeah.
that's part of it.
And that's a fun. Those sound fun too for people that like aren't interested. Like when you're not just like into, oh, I want to run X amount of distance. It's
Right.
like kind of getting distracted by all the other madness that's going
Climbing
on.
walls and
Yeah.
you know, scaling. My next fitness goal is a box jump. I'm getting
Okay.
closer. I'm getting
Okay.
closer.
What can you do any box jump now? Or not really? Like the
I can
smallest
do
one?
I can do a smaller one. I can
Yeah.
do a big tire jump, but
Got you.
even the thought of me doing a box jump, really?
Yeah, no, that just for me
It's-
like that doesn't register as like, you know, if you picture like different people in your life as like
Right.
characters, that's like I just wouldn't see that in
No,
in my
I wouldn't
world.
see any of this.
Yeah.
I mean, when you were playing basketball, woman, I was not good as
Yeah.
far as my fitness went. And,
I
you
could
know,
not imagine you doing a box jump.
No,
that would be insane.
me neither.
Yeah.
I mean, I still want to get be able to pull myself across the monkey bars yet too. I'm
Okay.
gonna work on some forearm strength, but
Pull-ups in
yeah, and I'm not very good at those yet. I think once I trim a little more weight with the surgery, I think I'll be able to do pull-ups.
yeah, and building muscle too.
Yeah.
That'll help.
I mean, everything's going to transition after the surgery. It's going to go. The weight loss is going to stop. I'm ready to be done with that.
Yeah.
But that chapter is going to close, and then it's going to be more muscle build and more toning. I'm already seeing it. I'm seeing it in my arms. I'm seeing it in my forearms.
Yeah.
This number will blow you guys away too. The last body scan I did, my body fat's down to 15%.
Wow.
It started at 54.
Yeah, I remember you saying
54.
50 something. That's insane.
More than half my body was fat. So
15.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
yeah, and the trainers at the gym are awesome, and they're excited to like get their claws into me, and really we're gonna get after it after the
like
first of the year.
Well, I mean, you're 49 years old. What's like the average? But I feel like you got to be above, like in the higher percentile.
The
right
age,
now, like
the
better.
age weight,
Yeah.
the
For-
age of the like
For
the
like percentage body fat.
oh
for
yeah,
your
yeah.
age,
I
that's
think
better
I'm yeah
than most
for
people.
sure.
I feel
Yeah.
like.
And you know, I mean, I'm playing slow pitch softball with a bunch of young kids this year, and
Yeah.
I'm the oldest. They call me grandpa, which whatever. I guess I'm old,
It's
but
fair.
it's fine.
It's
You
fair.
know, I scored. You know, I gotta get my hits here and there. You know, but at the gym, I'm definitely one of the older people too. Which is fine. You know, it's like this. I've found this new existence, this new world.
Yeah.
And a lot of things are opening my eyes, you know. I mean, I'm doing some things. I'm definitely still going skydiving. It may not happen before the snow flies, but it's definitely still on the list. And the Rugged Maniac, and I checked off the lake walk. And once I get through surgery, because it's gonna be a struggle, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not a real good patient. I'm kind of a wimp, and I know McKenna's gonna be a nurse, so I pray that she is no patient like me someday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I am a typical male, because we are not strong.
Yeah. Yeah. We
I get a
tend
cold
to-
and I'm going to the ICU.
Yeah,
you know,
we tend
I
to
mean,
over exaggerate.
Yeah, a little
when
bit.
we know we can too.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think the first week or two is going to be kind of rough, but then I'm excited to just. The big thing for me, and I've said this to a lot of people, is the mental part of it is going to be a little bit of a struggle,
Mhm.
because right now my routine every single day starts with the gym.
Yeah.
I don't start my day until I go to the gym.
Yeah.
And so for a while, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to have to kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit of a mental head game for me.
It definitely will be, because it's kind of, especially when it's like gets so ingrained into you that it's like this is me. Like
Mhm.
it is you at some point. So then it's like almost like you're missing a part of you for
Right.
a, extended.
And
period
I'm
of
missing my
time.
people. I mean, I've got great friends there, and I'm missing just the feel of the gym and the atmosphere, the music blaring.
Oh yeah.
So I'm hoping by week 3, my goal by week 3 is to go to the gym at 5:00 in the morning and just walk on the treadmill.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Week 1, I won't be doing anything. I'll be sleeping
Yeah,
and
that
taking
makes sense.
lots of pain pills.
Yeah.
And having my mom wait on
Yeah.
me hand and foot.
Are you gonna be like in like a
They're gonna-
basically
A burrito,
wrap?
yeah, they're gonna wrap me up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a wrap and some drains, which is kind of gross.
Oh gosh,
but
yeah. That's
for about
crazy.
a week. And then once the
That's
drains
insane.
come out, and I've done a lot of research on it, so I kind of know what I'm getting into. I've never had surgery though. I'm a little scared about
I
that.
remember. Yeah, I remember I was talking about that last time, that you'd never even had a surgery.
Not a surgery. The only thing I've ever had done was wisdom teeth pulled out, and that doesn't count.
Yeah.
That was like, give me laughing gas, and I was fine.
Yeah.
This is, we're gonna count back from 100. You get to 98. Next thing you know, you wake up. It's 5 hours later, and you're
Yeah.
all hacked up.
That's gonna be
it's
insane. You're gonna. Oh man, I don't know like. How, like mobility wise, are you gonna be even able to stand up?
What I've been reading is I'm gonna be hunched over
Okay.
for a while, and they don't want you to stand up. I'm gonna have to sleep sitting up. With
Okay.
pillows under like my legs and stuff. They want to kind of keep you folded up a little bit, because if you stand, you could pull the stitches out.
Which makes
So-
that makes sense. Yeah.
But they're going to want me to walk. I'm going to have to be able to get up and walk. And
Okay.
I've got a crew of high school friends that have already, because they live near where I grew up, because I'll be back in Heartland for about a week, which is where I grew up.
Okay.
And with my mom and dad. My mom's a retired nurse, so she's gonna be
She'll be looking after you
she'll be
too.
taking care of me.
Yeah.
But that crew of my old high school buddies are gonna come by and break me out of jail.
Yeah.
Get me out for a walk.
Get
and
you,
stuff.
get you walking and
Yeah.
whatnot.
So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
excited, but
crazy.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm both. I think the first thing I do when I get into the hospital room is I'm going to be telling the anesthesiologist to give me something good
Yeah, yeah.
to settle me down. Because
That's
I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous about it, but
Yeah.
it'll be fine. It's what I want, and if I don't do the surgery, this is what I'm going to be, which is fine.
Yeah.
I've accomplished a lot, but I want to get that last piece out.
Yeah.
I want to get this gone.
Exactly.
It's been kind of hanging on me for a while.
And you got to do it for you. Like
Right.
if you
It's
want
all
it,
of-
you
yeah.
got it. You've seen it for the whole time,
Right.
when no one else could see
The
it.
journey has to be for you. And I've told
Yeah.
this to people that are starting their journeys or in their middle of their journey. They're not where I'm at yet, but they're getting there. You have to do it for you. You can't do it for anyone else. And what got me going was it finally registered in my head. You can't tell anyone to do this. You can't be like, you have to do this, because they're not going to do it. Your brain has to be ready.
Yeah.
My brain was finally ready.
Yeah.
Took a while. Took a lot of falls and a lot of bad things going on.
Yeah.
Finally clicked. And then I threw myself at the mercy of the nurse and the dietitian at the clinic. I said, just fix me.
Yeah. I'll do
Before-
whatever.
Before I die, because that was coming
Which
soon.
makes sense. Yeah. And that's, I think that's a really good way to put it, that you kind of just have to be ready. Like you have to do it for you,
Right.
because the whole thing is those days, especially trying to be as disciplined as you're saying, like waking up at 5 every day to go to the gym. You can't just do that.
No.
If I'm doing that for somebody else, like I'm, one day I'm gonna be like, you know what, F this. Like I
Right.
don't want to do this. But when
Yeah.
you're doing it for you, like if you don't do it, then you have to look that person in the mirror
Right.
that you let down.
And you have to get past, you have to give yourself a break. And I'm still working on that. Friday, I couldn't go to the gym. I just was exhausted. And I kind of beat myself up about it for a little bit. I'm like, no, you're fine. You can take a break. You're allowed
Yeah.
a break.
Yeah.
But in your head, you're like, no, I don't want to, I want to keep going, but sometimes the body just is like, nope.
No, I have the same. I need to work on that myself. I like destroy myself. Like I'm the worst. It's like toxic, where I will look at myself and be like, "You looking fat today. What the
Right.
fuck are you doing?" And then I like don't have time to work out because I'm doing this, that, and the other. And I will sit there and be like, the whole time I'm going to bed, like, I didn't work out today. I'm a bitch.
Right.
And, like just sit there. And I am bad. I'm really bad.
I do the same exact thing. I get these compliments and these people that talk to me all the time, and they say, you look great. And I love it. And then I look in the mirror and I go, ugh. But it's a mental thing. It's I'm driven right now. Some might call it obsessed. It's probably is an obsession.
In a way.
In a way, there's a lot worse things I could be obsessed about.
True, very
But
true.
I can't wait to get to the gym the next day. As soon as we're done with the gym and I'm like, I got to go to work now instead of the gym, And the people that are at the gym are become some of my best friends. And so we all kind of do this together, and everyone's at the different point. There's people that have already lost a ton of weight. Now they're athletic. There's older people. We have a young college girl who is just a killer in the gym.
Mhm.
I mean, she's doing all kinds of craziness, but she's young and she's athletic.
Yeah.
She's an athlete in college. So we got all these different walks of life, and everyone comes together once a day, and
Yeah,
it's
and gets the
awesome.
work in.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. It's really changed everything for
Well,
me.
and you were saying too, kind of, along the same lines of it being mental thing, right? Where you're trying to close this chapter with the surgery and whatnot. So you're not going to be so much focused on losing weight anymore. It's going to be trying to, build some more muscle
Yeah.
and strengthen yourself up. Start sculpting. Coach
Yeah.
T.
Coach T being sculpted, baby.
Yeah.
I want to be able to wear tank tops.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? I mean,
Oh,
I got a tattoo up here. I want to be able to show off now.
There you go. Is it new tattoo or?
It's fairly new. I don't know if I can. I got a couple. I got one there. I
Okay.
don't know if you can even see it.
He's got the tats.
Yeah.
We were talking about tattoos last week a little
Oh, yeah.
bit. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
What is it? What is
It's
it?
like
If you don't mind.
a man holding up the earth.
Okay.
Or the globe. It's
Atlas?
a strength. Yeah, it's like
Gotcha.
the strength one. I've got the whole mental side on this side, and I got the strength one on this side. And I mean, I've got some slogans on here that are important to me.
Mhm.
Win the day is important to me, because when I was my former self and I would lose a little weight, or I'd have some success, I would fall down, have something go wrong, and I get right back to my old ways.
Yeah.
So you have to train yourself that if you have a bad day, which we all do, that's
Yeah.
called being a human. You can't have 2 bad days or 3 bad
Yeah.
days or 5 bad days. You got to kind of fix it. So I look at that and I remember,
Mhm.
because this journey has been tough. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie. It's been tough. And I've sacrificed a lot. I've become a hermit a little bit. I
little
don't
bit, yeah.
I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I had to remove that atmosphere.
Yeah.
I had to I can't be around going out. And
I said a similar thing to a buddy of mine that I was helping work out for a while. I would always tell him, you have to, and maybe you don't necessarily have to 100%, but I would always say you have to kill the old you to become the new you. And so like because you just, if you're not happy with how you are now, then why are you going to do the things that make up what you are now, And so that's kind of what I was always getting at with him.
And that was always a big fear of mine early on, was the reverting. Am I going to revert back? I went 18 months without having a piece of pizza, which is silliness.
Yeah.
I've now had pizza.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I have.
Because I love pizza.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, no, I can't. I gotta, at the start of this thing, I was measuring every little thing that went into my face. I mean, I was like, I have the little measuring cups at home, and I have the scale, and I was
tracking it in your phone.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I was measuring tablespoons of dressing on my salad. I mean, I was really dedicated. Now I don't have to be as much. I can enjoy some things. And
when you're burning a ton of calories, we were talking before we went live, 1,300 calories in a workout. That's insane.
I can enjoy some things, and then I can calculate it in my head. That's the other big thing, is I have the knowledge now, and you see people that they on my 600-pound life or shows like that, where they have that huge weight loss, but they don't get the education, they're gonna fall back.
Yeah,
I've got the education now.
You understand how
Absolutely,
you got there.
Yeah. So all that stuff has helped, and now it's just who I am. I mean, it's just what I do. I get up and go to the gym. I eat well. I eat clean. I don't eat enough. That's weird too.
Yeah. We were talking about that before we went live. Yeah, that is an interesting.
I'm supposed to be eating 3,400 calories. I can't get to 3,400 calories. Gosh. It's insane.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird. It's gonna be. I bet it'll be a fun challenge for you though, as like changing into like what post surgery and whatnot, coming back, and then first getting back to normal, and then like doing kind of the opposite. You know, not as intense, but trying to put on weight.
It's gonna be weird. Yeah, me putting on weight
on purpose.
Right,
man. That's crazy.
Because I told the one young trainer, his name's Caden. He's awesome. I said, I'm going to be about 205, but I don't want to be 205. I want to get back up to almost 220. He's like, all right. He has all this like new age weightlifting knowledge. I mean, it had been 30 years since I lifted weights. I lifted weights in high school. I was pretty strong in high school. I played high school football. I wasn't great, but I was an athlete. Yeah. And I was in the weight room quite a bit. And it had been 30 years. And I'm like, oh, I can curl. But he's got all these crazy things we're doing with bands and all this goofiness. And he's like, but he's excited, he's like, yeah, we're gonna get my claws into you a little bit. I'm like, yeah.
What do you use anything before you work out, like any pre-workouts?
I do.
Anything like that?
I have a pre-workout that I drink about a half hour before, and it's really good. It's called Bucked Up. With a B.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to get want to get you in trouble with the FCC here, Darren.
No, I say whatever. I use the
you say whatever the F you want, right?
Yeah, exactly. We say whatever
I feel weird,
here.
like. I mean,
it is weird. It was weird for me the first time you were on the show. I think I only swore like one time, which is weird. Like I usually am letting it fly pretty loose here on the show.
I can't make you run laps anymore.
Yeah,
I don't have that authority anymore.
Exactly.
Now, Coach E walks in here, he might be able to get you.
Yeah, he might.
Mean, he's still the boss.
He could give me he'll just look at me. And I'll be like, oh, fuck. Right there. I just let it fly. Now I got to run a suicide.
Now I got to go do a suicide for Coach E.
Well, my dad says congrats on the weight loss. I don't think he was in the chat last time we had you on, but what were we talking? Oh, yeah, pre-workout. So I had Ty Mulcahy on, and he's very he's jacked. He's insane, and he's very knowledgeable in the world of fitness. I think he was a personal trainer back when I had him on the show. I don't think he's doing it anymore, but and he said as his like parting words when I always ask people like, oh, do you got anything else for us? Usually people are just like, no man, thanks for having me, whatever. He's like, no, don't do sniffing salts or some like weird, and it's this like pre-workout that people are doing now, like younger people are doing, and it's like looks like cocaine basically. Right. They're just like snap a little powder and then they do it to break their PR. Yeah, that shit.
I drink it, and really what it does is it just kind of gets you moving. Yeah, because it's early in the morning. It gives you a little. It's got caffeine in it because I don't drink any coffee before I work out. Gotcha. So I drink this, and it's about 30 minutes before. It tastes good. Just quick gulp it down as I'm driving because it's I drive 30 minutes to the gym. So I've got a little time on my hands while I'm driving in the dark. Yeah. Because it's dark at that hour.
Exactly.
It's pretty dark. But it's good. One of my workout buddies got me onto that, and I like it if I don't drink it, I feel it. Because usually my first class of the day, 4 days a week, is boxing. So we're getting right into it. We're throwing elbows.
See, that's my whole thing. Is I've always been like it's not that I'm against other people doing it. I've just never wanted to do it personally because like I just feel like then I'm gonna need it to get my workout done, and I just don't want to like. I feel it when I don't,
and I feel it when I do. Like it'll kick in a couple minutes before because I try to time it about 30 minutes before I'm about to go. And then once it kicks in, you kind of feel it. But I've also gotten really good about eating before I work out, and then I eat after I work out, and then I have more eat, and I eat and eat.
Yeah,
and
see,
eat.
I don't eat. I know that's my
I
problem.
have a hard time working out on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
And everyone's a little bit different. Like I usually just try to get a protein bar on me or some oatmeal or something or a banana, something just to kind of give me a little juice, and then I go.
Yeah.
And then I'm starving right after I'm done working out. Like
Yeah.
it's such a weird transition in my brain.
See, I have batting. I mean, more so with like playing sports, I guess, than actually working. I think with working out, I can get away with eating beforehand. But with like sports, I get really weird where I can't, I like have to eat like 5 hours before the
Yeah.
game. Like I can't eat anywhere remotely close to like a sporting event or something like that. 'Cause I just like, I don't know. I just don't trust my body, and I'm like freaking out, and then I think I make it worse. And then like right before the game starts, I get a cramp, and I'm like, oh wait, does that mean I have to go take a shit or like what's going on? And I just don't know. And then yeah, so I remember game days for me were always weird when I couldn't eat. But going to the gym, I try and eat like something like a bagel or something beforehand.
Something light and then I always have to have gum in my mouth. I'm chewing gum every time I'm working out. I just have to keep that fluid going, you know.
That makes sense.
And then as long as we can crank the tunes, we get after it, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we got to get the detox crew up to box.
Dude, yes.
I'm telling you,
I just want to get slapped around, man. That's all I want.
Boxing has changed everything. Like it is the best workout, and we have so much fun doing it. We call it punching shit. That's what we were doing. We're punching shit. And
pretty much.
I used Mrs. Kothe.
Okay.
As our my t-shirt connection, and we made punching shit t-shirts.
Perfect.
And like 40 people bought them. So everyone's and tank tops and t-shirts. Every once in a while you'll see them as we're working out, and it's so much fun. And you can get rid of a lot of stress just by beating the crap out of that heavy bag.
See, that's what I was trying to get into it during COVID, but it's one of those sports, like I feel like almost every sport or like how-tos, like for anything basically, not just sports, but there's so much shit on the internet for like how to get into this or how to start doing this. Boxing, I would be looking stuff up, and I love YouTube. Like I am all over YouTube, and there's not a whole lot. Like there's some guys, but it's like assuming you know a lot already. So if anybody that is like knowledgeable in boxing, there's a niche for you right there. Do that because I would love to get into it.
The great part is our trainers, we have 3 trainers that do boxing, and they're all fantastic. And Amanda, who was my nurse when I started this thing, she is an upper level kind of a trainer. She competed as a younger kid. And so, but all 3 of them are so knowledgeable, and they give us combos. Like we do the one boxing class is 2 minutes of boxing. We do that twice. So we do 4 minutes, and we do 1 minute of abs, which sometimes isn't as much fun. Yeah. Then we go back to 4 minutes of boxing, 1 minute of abs, 4 minutes of boxing, 1 minute of abs, and then we're done. And then we do 4 more minutes of boxing. And we do all these different combos. We're doing, jab, jab, cross with a right kick and a left knee. And it's just, and it's just you in the bag. I mean, we're not beating each other up. And so you're just killing this bag. And this morning we did, what day is today? Monday. Yeah. Lost track of what day it was. So I had boxing this morning, and at one point we were doing front kicks. So imagine in a square, there's 14 bags. We have a square, so everyone's in front of their bag, and we're doing front kicks. The bags are flying everywhere. It was awesome. We got heavy metal. She put on heavy metal for us, so you're jamming out to this great music, and you're just kicking the shit.
I'm sure time flies. Like doing cardio that way,
unbelievable.
Time flies. Yeah.
You go to the gym, you go like to Planet, and you go 45 minutes on the treadmill, and you're pulling your hair, and you're gouging your eyes out because it's so boring.
Yeah.
You do 45 minutes of boxing, you're like, we're done? How did that happen? And you're sweating, and you just got rid of all the. They say sweat is fat cells crying, so you're just letting those fat cells, weep away, right? Yeah, exactly. And you feel great, and you're a little winded, and then you stretch, and you feel good, and you're ready to take on the day. To me, that's the big. I worked out at night, and I've worked out in the morning, and I like them both, but night is not as good for me.
Yeah.
Because I've had a full day of work, I've had a full day of food, whatever I've done, and my body's just like, oh, dude, you need to go to bed. Yeah. In the morning, I haven't done anything. I've driven my car. Yeah. And let's just go and then
same way.
Tackle the day, and I usually crash early. By about 8 o'clock, Coach T's ready to go sleepy.
Yeah, I hit a wall later in the day too. Oh, yeah. I've worked out in both in the morning really early, and then also kind of later, 6, 7 o'clock. And yeah, I'd say morning 10 times out of 10 is way better. You just feel more energized too. And it's weird. You're tired during the workout. Then you go shower and you get ready for work.
You're ready to roll. Yeah.
Yeah, you feel great.
And it's taken a big adjustment, and it takes a big adjustment in your life. And we have the same crew that kind of shows up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. We're all kind of the morning crew, and then they have a night crew because of work and people have kids and things like that. So you have to like understand that you're not going to be able to pretty much go out and be somewhere late. Like if I make it to the 10 o'clock news, then I've only got 5.5 hours to sleep. So that's not good.
Yeah.
Because you got to get your rest. And that's a huge part of it too. So you just make that sacrifice. The first 5 o'clock class I did, I'm like, what am I doing? I'm walking out my door at 4:10 in the morning. What in the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
And then I kind of just fell in love with it. And so that's what I do. We do sprinkle in some night classes. There's different trainers that do stuff at night. So we'll do a night class too.
How is the drive that early in the morning? Because for me, like there are some days, like some mornings where I will get in my car, especially as it gets colder. And like, you know, I feel like too, it's so much harder to wake up in the winter season.
Yeah, it's
like
dark.
when it's dark the whole day then
Yeah.
basically for you, because it's dark once you get to the gym, and then it's like dark once you're done with work. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
You don't get to see the sun at all.
Yeah, but like for me, like you take that blanket off you, and it just like the cold air just hits you, and you're like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
And then you get to the car, and like I'll crank the heat,
Yep.
and I'll be driving. Like if it's, I mean, for you 30 minutes, that's a while. You kind of get cozied up in there.
Yep.
For me, it's only like a couple minutes away. But even then, like I start like almost falling asleep on the way there, because it's like warms you back up again.
Right. And we walked into the gym this morning. It was freezing. Like everyone was freezing. I box in bare feet, so my feet were cold.
Oh,
And I'm
God.
shorts and a t-shirt, you know, and we were all like, but 2 minutes in, you're sweating. So you forget how cold it was because you're hot again.
You're moving.
Yeah.
Boxing. You're not.
We don't stand still. Our trainers keep us rolling.
What's like what's kind of been like the biggest muscle grip that you think boxing works that you maybe didn't expect?
the back of my shoulders.
Okay. Like shoulder blade.
Yeah,
area
like back here.
I don't
is-
know
is-
names of
is-
muscles.
I don't either.
McKenna maybe does.
I don't either,
know.
but it's like those have built up pretty good. I'm seeing a lot more definition in my biceps, and my forearms are getting there. My legs are pretty strong, but we do a lot of kicking. You know.
Yeah.
I've had to kind of scale that back. I've got a little tailbone thing working from the weight loss. That's my spine is kind of crooked now because of the massive weight loss. So I'm
Okay,
working through some of
interesting.
that stuff with a chiropractor too.
Yeah.
Never knew that was going to happen.
Yeah,
All of
I
a
wouldn't
sudden-
expect that
all of a sudden
either.
sitting became kind of an issue, you know, with the tailbone.
Really?
And so working through that. But I've noticed the boxing is definitely shoulders and all upper arms and the back of the shoulders. Because the one other trainer, we have 3 that do boxing, Joey's his name, we probably throw 1,000 punches in 45 minutes. I mean, it is
Yeah.
insane how many punches we throw.
Yeah.
So you're just going.
Yeah.
So
you're
you
working
feel
a lot of core too.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
a
like.
lot of
Yeah.
core, you know, and that's the other exciting part. Once this surgery happens, I can work the core. Right now, I can do all the core stuff, but I still have this skin in my way. So as soon as that gets out of the way, then I can really work the core.
Yeah, that'll feel good. Get
Coach
the
T with
shoulder.
abs.
God, yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, you're just gonna like post a picture one day with you,
right?
just like
It's
flexing
crazy.
it. And I'm just gonna be
I
like,
remember the first time someone saw my collarbone on a photo. Like it was like halfway through the journey, and I had a picture on Facebook, and one of my high school friends was like, "Yeah, but look at the collarbone." I'm like, "I do have a collarbone.
holy shit.
Who knew?
Holy shit, man, that's
I
crazy.
have veins. Like when I give blood,
Yeah.
like the technician's like, "Oh yeah, you got like great veins. We can just we can
You're
go."
you're all toned up now,
Yeah.
getting vascular and whatnot.
I never had. I mean, I always had veins because
Yeah.
I
Or
had
you'd
blood
be
flowing
dead.
through my
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
But they could never find it.
Yeah.
You know, so my
That's
shoe
insane,
size
man.
shrunk by a whole size.
Your shoe?
Yeah, my
Wow.
feet shrunk. Yeah,
So wait, what size were you before?
I was a 14 wide. Now I
Okay.
wear 13s, and those are big.
Okay.
I had no idea.
That's crazy. I didn't even think like I know like some people have like wider feet, but I didn't think like
It
your
was all,
foot would.
and when I realized that, I found a pair of tennis shoes I really liked, and they're like, "Oh, they're 13s. I'll never fit into those." And I put them on. I fit into them. So I brought it up to Amanda, who's my nurse, and she's like, "Well, yeah, you're not holding as much water." So like the opposite
Wow.
happens when women get pregnant. Their feet get bigger because they're retaining more water. She's like, "You're losing all this weight. Your body doesn't need that much water." I'm like, "Huh? Who knew?"
Yeah, I would not have guessed that, but I mean it makes sense.
I lost
when they
foot fat.
explain it. Yeah, that's crazy. So you get to, well, you can't. I couldn't say you can't buy that much cheaper of shoes. I
No,
guess, but
But
13s are still pretty large. That's,
Yeah,
I'm like
it-
12.
I mean,
so.
yeah, still bigger, but so one of my friends is, "Well, check your hat size. Maybe you lost some head fat too." I said, "I don't know, perhaps."
Yeah, do hats have sizes? I didn't even know that.
Yes,
They were
I think
hat
I'm a
sizes.
7 3/4. I want to check my ring size.
Oh,
I don't,
sure you-
I don't wear
I'm
any
sure.
rings, but I when I coached a million years ago at a different school, we won a state championship. So we have rings for that in softball. And I remember when they sized this for the guys like, "Geez, you got big. I have fat fingers, but I I don't
You've,
wear
d-
it.
you've probably.
I think
I'm sure
I've
you've
lost.
some,
Yeah, I've lost in my fingers.
You got to find the ring. Go try
Right.
to slide it on.
The other thing I want to do, and this is kind of funny, is I've never been able to wear a button-down collared shirt with a tie and look good. I always look terrible because my neck was so fat.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you slimmed down in the neck too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I never noticed that. I don't think
Yeah.
I ever caught you in one, even when we had to dress up. For
No,
games
I'd
and
never
whatnot.
wear a tie because
Yeah.
the collar never fit.
Yeah.
And I'd go and they'd try to fit it, and they'd go, I know. Big neck.
Wow, that'll be cool. That's something to look forward to post surgery. Probably going. You can get some nice. Actually, no, I will buy some new. I wouldn't thrift that. We were talking. I don't know if we talked thrifting.
No, we're not gonna.
This time we went
we're
live.
not,
or
we're
if
not
it was
gonna.
last
We're not
time.
gonna thrift that.
Yeah,
we're gonna,
don't thrift that.
We're gonna
though.
go get that fitted.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, they get in a couple of nice dress shirts. Why
Yeah.
not?
Shirt and tie.
Nice ties. Yeah. Look fucking fancy,
Right?
Coach T. Yeah.
Who knew?
That'd be sweet. When's your next like high school reunion? You're gonna
Well,
blow
we just had our
everybody away.
30th last year, but a couple of
Okay.
the girls have promised they're gonna help me shop because again, I'm a hopeless bachelor.
That's
I
fair.
wear socks with holes in them.
Yeah.
And I get picked on all the time at the gym because you got holes in your socks. I know.
What are you wearing? You're wearing shorts and like gym shoes, right? Like ankle cut gym
Yeah.
shoes. You're not wearing like white socks, are you?
No,
Okay,
no.
good.
I got blacks on right now.
Okay, good. 'Cause
Oh,
it
yeah.
freaks me out when like older people,
Yeah,
older
no,
men
no.
wear like the white socks.
No,
It just freaks me out.
No white socks.
Okay, cool.
No white socks
cool.
in my world.
Only if they're Nike and you're wearing them with basketball shoes is white socks
Right,
allowed.
yeah,
It just
no.
freaks me out when they got them pulled up to their knees.
No,
and,
no.
and yeah.
I mean, I'll wear pink. We're gonna go all pink because we're doing a boot camp for cancer at the gym in
Yeah.
Muskego, and I am decking out in pink. So I've got pink shorts, pink socks. Mrs. Kothy's getting us some pink shirts for the event. I'm going pink wristbands, pink hair.
pink hair. I
Pink
remember we
hair.
mentioned that before.
That's
yeah.
gonna be cool.
That's gonna be insane.
Yeah, we're going all pink because it's for a great cause. So we're gonna do that. and
Are
get
you
it.
doing like real dye or is it like the?
I'm just gonna
temp-
get the
temp-
spray.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm
gotcha.
just gonna get this. I can't go to work with pink hair.
Yeah, that would
It'd
be
like a
pretty
news
insane.
reporter with pink hair. That'd be weird.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if
know
the
too
boss
many.
would like that too much.
Yeah.
gotta-
Well, speaking of, so we
That was a good segue.
That was a great
I
segue.
really did that well for you.
That was perfect right there. I want to talk a little bit about you working at the Kenosha News and for the Kenosha News. With everything that's been going on, I mean, Kenosha all of a sudden became was basically under the spotlight
Yeah.
For our entire nation, the entire world, pretty much.
Right.
And how was that? I mean, overall, first, what was like your overall take
It was
on what happened?
it was unbelievable. And I can go back to the day that the incident happened on August 23rd. It was a Sunday. I don't work Sundays, so I'm playing in a slow pitch softball league. We always practice on Sundays. So I got home from softball at about 4:30. Typical Sunday. It was my dad's birthday. I'd already called him, took care of that part of my day. Was making some dinner, sat down, I got my phone with me, and I get the Kenosha News Facebook notifications. We all do.
Yeah.
All the reporters, the whole staff. So anytime someone sends us a message, we see it. So it was like 5:15-ish, and a notification pops up. I open up, and it's the video of the shooting.
Yeah.
I'm watching the video of Jacob Blake getting shot
yeah.
and freaking out.
Yeah.
What did I just watch?
Yeah.
This cop just shot him 7 times.
Yeah.
Wow. So we have a news reporter who's on Sundays. So Terry Flores is her name. So she works Sunday night. So she was already down there. Our main photographer, Sean, amazing photographer, he was already down there. So didn't really need to mobilize ourselves to go down there. They handled it, but of course, the whole world's talking about it already because in this
Yeah.
day and age, things happen so fast.
Things move.
So I called my then boss, who's no longer my boss. He's been transferred to a different newspaper in the company. I emailed him. I said, hey, I'm off on Monday, but do you want me to come in?
Yeah.
He's like, please. I said, I'll take a different day off. I said, obviously, this is huge.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of rolled from there. I came in Monday morning and we had a meeting with the staff and there was rallies already planned and protests and things. So I became the photographer on Monday because Sean took the day off because he had worked until like 3 o'clock in the morning the first night when everything was happening. So that Monday, the day after, I was like the photographer. I went to 3 different rallies and we had different reporters going with me. So they were doing the reporting. I was just aiming the camera and getting shots and things like that. So, and then it just kind of took off from there, and I didn't realize the I knew it was big,
Yeah.
but I started to get a sense for the magnitude of it at the second rally on Monday. So we did one. The first one was a rally in front of where Jacob Blake was shot.
Yeah.
I parked my car, and I've never seen so much media in my life at one place.
Yeah. I mean, I saw some Facebook Lives, and it was
It was crazy.
insane.
I mean, Washington Post, New York Times, CNN, every Milwaukee, every Chicago, every Madison, all in Kenosha. So we covered that first rally. Nothing major happened. You could tell, obviously, tensions were high. But there was another one set for 2 o'clock at Civic Center Park in Kenosha, which is right by the courthouse. So my assignment was to go to that one. So I get to that, and it's packed. It's just packed. There's 500 people there. And they moved. There was so much media that they wanted to have the press conference, because it was supposed to be a press conference with the mayor and the county executive and all these big shots. So I'm decked out. I got a media pass. I want everyone to know who I am.
Yeah.
Keep me out of the harm's way as much as possible. So they moved the press conference to the safety building, which is behind the courthouse. That's where things got a little dicey, because then the protesters, very tense moments, didn't want to let the media into the building. They wanted to go in as well. So it became a little bit tense. I'm wily enough in my old age to kind of back myself. I don't run toward danger.
Yeah.
I kind of back myself away from it. And so things got a little tense there. Pepper spray was fired and things like that. Nothing compared to what happened at the night times. The nighttime stuff, everyone's seen all the videos and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was 2 weeks of wall-to-wall coverage. It's quieted down for now. It's going to kick back up again yet.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
How, I guess, what's kind of like been the feeling that like your colleagues and you have kind of shared like towards everything? I mean, not necessarily like opinions on it, but just like the magnitude of what's going on. Like, what's everybody's like, holy shit.
I think it's surreal is the word we kept using.
Yeah.
And we actually had a talk about that maybe a week or two ago. I was talking to Sean Krajacek, who's our photographer, who's just an amazing talent. His shots, I told him we need to put him up for a Pulitzer, and I'm being serious. His photos are amazing.
Really?
And
wow.
yeah, just amazing. He got a shot several shots that blow me away, but he had a shot early on. The protesters had kneeled down in the middle of, I think it's Sheridan Road is probably where they were, a line of protesters. And in front of the protesters were all the police officers in full riot gear. And Sean was down on his knees right behind the protesters, and he got this shot looking up. And as he took the shot, this one young protester looks back at the camera, and he's got this expression on his face. And Sean told me the kid looked back at the camera because a brick had just went past Sean's head. I mean, he said it literally whizzed past his ear from behind. Someone had thrown a brick. So
yeah.
Amazing. But so we've talked about surreal to me, because it's like we're interviewing people that we know, city officials, police. I mean, we know all these people, but all this stuff is happening. It's really, Kenosha's not a tiny town, but it's not huge.
Yeah.
100,000 people.
Yeah.
It's Green Bay. It's Green Bay I think even has more, but
yeah.
It's not big, but it's not tiny, but it's like, wow, this story is just,
it's insane.
it's unbelievable. And to be in the middle of it, like we have been, and doing our jobs, I'm not going to lie to you, it's been a little scary. We had to order riot gear. We have riot gear for our new staff now.
Wow.
We have goggles and helmets and things like that in case this kicks up again. Because, the nighttime people, Sean and some other people, I never went out at night. I told my boss, I'm good. I'll work during the day. I really don't need to be down there when bullets are flying.
Yeah.
But some of those folks are in harm's way for sure.
Oh, definitely. I went out to Kenosha. I think it was the second or third night, to go do my friend Raymond's show, and he was featured. I don't know if it was at Kenosha News, or I think you posted it a couple days ago. If that was it Kenosha News? Yeah, he was on the interviews of people in the community. He was actually on there too. He was featured. He's been on my show a couple of times, and so I went out, did his show out, and we were at a friend of his bar out in Kenosha downtown, and like we had, I think it was Sheridan, and so we had a camera on Sheridan of just going nonstop, seeing the people coming in and out, troops wise and stuff, and just kind of commentating as things were happening, and it was crazy. Yeah,
the first night, Sunday night I didn't work. Monday night I worked. Monday I worked 12 hours, so I left about 9 o'clock. So it was the night after this happened. The curfew was in, lockdown mode. I live in Mount Pleasant, so I always go Green Bay Road to and from work.
Yeah.
Our office is right on Green Bay Road. So I'm driving up Green Bay Road toward Mount Pleasant, going north, and there's nothing. No traffic, nothing. And then as I got to the Racine County line by UW Parkside, the traffic is all coming south in lines.
Yeah.
I called our guys that were Sean was down there, and our sports editor was actually down there doing Facebook Lives. And I called those guys. I said, just be on your toes. Because there is 100 cars coming from the north.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
So, the sad part is the devastation that's happened down in Uptown. I don't know if you've been down there, if you've probably seen the photos and
I
stuff.
drove
and
through the other day, actually. I saw some of it. Yeah.
It's devastating. And
is
I went down on Tuesday. So Sunday it happened. Monday, Tuesday I was off. I went down with a shovel and a broom and tried to help people. I just kind of felt compelled to go help. And because I've lost my house in a house fire, and I know what that's like. And these people have lost everything.
Yeah.
And the it's still there. I just drove through there today. I was on my way to an assignment, and I drove right through Uptown, and it's still there. It's hard to see that.
Yeah.
The devastation that's happened. So.
Yeah, it is crazy. I just think it's interesting too. You being, out in Kenosha News. What is it? When is a piece in the Kenosha News about Twin Lakes' biggest hip hop art? Okay, Dad. Thanks, Dad. I was gonna joke with you about that after we got done with the serious topics.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, like, how is there, like, I know you said you guys had meetings right away. Like, what do they say to you guys in a meeting when something like that happens? And like, okay, the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks is gonna be insane. Like, is that basically all they can tell you? Is like, hey, this is gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
Let's just try and do our best.
And we have such a small staff. I mean, we have 8 journalists in our whole staff, and that's everybody. That's reporters. We have 1 sports guy. But everyone mobilized. We had our woman who does features and does more community type stuff. She covered one of the rallies so I could shoot the pictures. Sports editor was down doing Facebook Lives. He's the sports editor. He's down there covering news. Our editors worked 15-hour days. And our court person was really busy. She was doing the criminal part of it, the crime part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And we just kind of try to always have a plan and always communicate to each other because things were evolving so fast.
Yeah.
I did a lot of the photos early. I covered some church rallies later. I covered the big rally on the Saturday when 2,000 people showed up in Civic Center Park, and Mandela Barnes, the lieutenant governor, was there, and some other big shots. I covered that because it was my Saturday to work. We rotate Saturdays. I just drew the short straw. It was my day to work, so I had to go cover that. But the plan was always evolving. And then you throw in the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and that changed everything again. When that happened, now you got that other criminal element. And then we've had some groups in support of in support of Jacob Blake have formed their own group. So they're getting in touch with us. I just covered a rally the other day. The 2 black student unions from Parkside and Carthage, they wanted their voice heard. So they had rallies on Saturday. This is just 2 days ago. Very peaceful, very nice. Talked to a couple of those presidents, and they want their voice heard. So just always evolving. We just kind of had to be flexible with it. Our web traffic went off the charts.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
We were doing 4 million hits a day.
Jesus Christ.
Which was insane. Our company, our newspaper's owned by Lee Enterprises, and they have newspapers all around the country. Well, the biggest newspaper is in St. Louis. They have a huge staff, huge paper, huge city. We were killing them in web traffic in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
That's insane.
They do 3 million hits a day. We were doing 4
Jesus.
in the Kenosha News.
I mean, it's crazy, and it's such an insane situation. I know, I guess I kind of wanted to know too how you felt towards. I know we were talking a little bit before. I think on the last time I had you on about how like social media and stuff is somewhat kind of undercutting news and stuff. And you're saying things were developing quickly, and I personally like take that as this little piece would get out, and then we would find out the rest later, and then the next thing. What did you guys in any rooms, meetings, or whatnot get any of those messages of sort of people trying to throw people off course or like ties people out, where they'd be like, oh, there's people burning this building down right here, and there clearly wasn't, and people spreading misinformation? How was like dealing with misinformation during this time? Because I'm sure people were hitting you guys up like crazy.
Oh yeah, and it's hard because we will look on like the Kenosha County scanner page, and that's a lot of that was happening. Was people were doing exactly that. We're throwing cents over here, get the cops over there so they could go over here, and you have to kind of sift through that and try to make some quick calls to confirm things. And our court person has all those contacts. So yeah, it everything was evolving rapidly to the point where we had members of another staff in our company helping us overnight.
Yeah.
Constantly up. We had an overnight staff that was like updating our website as things were happening at 12:15 in the morning,
Yeah.
12:30 in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, because things were happening so rapidly, and fires here and fires there, and the Kyle Rittenhouse thing that exploded, and then it's just unbelievable. So yeah, I mean, the whole world of journalism has just changed so much because of social media. There's a lot of stories that we wrote that didn't make it into print. They just online, which is fine. That's where we're going. So that's what we do. Our digital presence is there too. So we have to be cognizant of that, especially when there's an event like this where people are thirsting for information.
Yeah, everybody needs to know.
They're coming to the web, and they're coming to Facebook. They're coming to our website, and they just want more and more and more. And we were getting, this is crazy. We were getting, as a news staff, I got everyone did, interview requests from around the world, from people wanting to interview us.
Oh,
Canada, France, Switzerland, because they would see our byline, and in our byline is our email address. They were just pulling email addresses. We were all getting them.
Yeah.
And I turned every one of them down.
That,
I'm like, I'm not a spokesman for the newspaper. I'm a reporter.
Yeah.
I'll let my boss do that. If he wants to do that, that's up to him, but I'm not going to talk, to a news agency. But it was so weird. Like
the whole world's watching.
Yeah. I mean, they really were, I was getting this one TV station in Canada kept emailing me, and I kept turning them down. They kept emailing me. I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, can you be on live in 10 minutes? I'm like, no, I got to go cover a press conference with all these big shots. We're still trying to work here, And so I kind of had to like push them away because probably about maybe a week into it, they started having daily press briefings with all the police chiefs and all the big shots, because there was so much media in town. It was crazy. I've never seen that many media people.
Yeah, not here in Kenosha.
And people were like, the reporters wanted to know. So so I covered a bunch of those with the camera and helping out that way. So yeah, turning down a lot of interviews is weird, being asked to be interviewed.
Yeah.
I'm usually the one asking the questions here, Darren.
Yeah, that is weird. We're switching it up here. Yeah. You're turning down all these big stations, but guess what?
I'm on Detox, baby.
Detox got him.
You got that right.
He reeled in Dan Truttschel.
That's right.
Did you feel like pressure at all, like during this time, to like really be? I mean, it's like you're playing in the finals. It's like this is the biggest. I'm not saying that it's the biggest thing of your career or anything, but like it kind of is like the biggest thing happening for Kenosha News.
I felt I felt a lot of stress.
Did you feel like pressure to like really do the best you could do to give the community like the right news and stuff like that?
And and the community is never going to be completely happy with us. They're going to say we lean this way or we're in favor of this person, but in our newsroom, we have 200 years of experience. I mean, I've been doing this for 25 years, and I've never purposely slanted anything. We just cover it. We just covered the event.
Yeah.
But yeah, we felt pressure. I know I did. And I didn't feel as much strain as the people that were out at night. I mean, our photographer's got a small child at home. He called me the night that the Rittenhouse thing happened. That happened after midnight. Sean called me at 5:30 that night, so like 6 hours before the whole thing happened. And he's like, "What are you doing? Are you going to go back down there?" I said, "No, I just worked my day. I'm at home, and you should stay home too."
Yeah.
But he went down, and it was stressful that way because they're coworkers and they're friends, and we're in harm's way. I mean, I had people reaching out to me like, "Are you safe? Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm not excited to be amongst all these people in the middle of a pandemic either,
It's another story. Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing a mask, but not the other 2,000 people really aren't, and they're screaming and they're passionate and things are flying out of their mouths, and that's how we get the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So that worried me too, But then the whole violence thing, the bullets flying and the anger, and the media's not always that. People don't always like us, They don't always like you, You're the damn media, We hate you, So we got some pushback there, from some of the groups. I remember when the big Jacob Blake rally happened in Civic Center Park, they had a whole crew of security that came with them, and they were very forceful. They were very hands-on with the press. They didn't want us around them so much. So we have to kind of battle that too, I felt the pressure to do a really, really good job. And we also felt the pressure of just long days, and just, we some people worked free hours, just because we're passionate about doing the job the right way. If our names are going to be on top of it, I personally think we kicked the crap out of the coverage. I think our coverage was amazing.
Yeah.
That's being biased. But if you look at the work that we did, I think we told a lot of stories. We told the crux of it. I covered and I'm not the world's most religious person. I'm going to say that up front. But I covered the most wonderful, peaceful, cleansing church service on the lake the first week. And it was just about what was happening. And it was all these leaders from all these different churches in Kenosha. And it was a beautiful night. It was like I think it was a Friday night. I was out there till 5 or 6 o'clock. I was like, oh, I kind of felt good for a little bit there, because we're covering all this bad crap. We're covering all this shit.
Yeah.
And so that was good. I enjoyed doing that. And because people want to read all the bad news. I mean, there's,
Yeah, definitely.
We need some good to come out of this. If there's an opinion or an editorial comment I'll make is, can we get something good to come out of this? Can we talk? Can we communicate and bridge this gap that is, to me, very apparent in Kenosha?
Yeah, well, that's the thing where when big things like that happen, I think there's a saying that it's like never let a good crisis go. I don't know what it.
No, I know what you're saying.
Don't waste a good crisis or something like that, right? And it's like, obviously, these are a lot of horrible things that have been happening this year. We got the pandemic, all the memes before that, World War III, and all these things, and then we have all these instances.
And it's happening all over the country.
Yeah, and now it's right here at home, right in our face.
Here.
Right? So we don't get to look away,
right?
Like a lot of people like to do, and so that's, I think you're definitely right that there needs to be, or that there should be, at least some sort of good to come out of this. And I think there can be.
I think there can be.
Everybody's open to it, I guess.
The communication lines and the mayor in Kenosha, we just had our third one of these community listening sessions. There's one more this Sunday. And I think that's a good step. And I've talked to a lot of the people in the Blake camp. I've talked to organizers of some of the rallies. There's a young man, he's maybe in his mid-20s. He's organized some rallies. He's really passionate about this stuff. And I've kind of gotten the vibe from them. I talked to the spokesperson for the Blake family who said the same thing. I asked her actually Saturday. I was interviewing her. They were doing a voter registration drive in front of where Jacob Blake was shot. And I asked her, I said, her name's Tanya McLean. She's a very good spokesperson, very smart, intelligent woman. And I said, there's some significance about it being here, isn't there? She's like, oh, absolutely. I mean, this is where it happened, but now we got to get people out to vote.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to get the young people out to vote. And so that's what they're doing now. They've kind of they've got an eye on, because this isn't done yet. The DOJ report is coming any day, and that will dictate a lot of where this is going to go. There's more to come. There's more chapters to be written.
Are you talking with the whole Rittenhouse situation?
No, well, that is huge, but with the cop.
Oh, okay,
that hasn't even been decided yet. And so
gotcha.
That took another turn a couple weeks ago. The Department of Justice, for people that don't understand, when there's a shooting in a police department, it's a new-ish law within the last, 10 years, maybe longer, that police department cannot, by law, investigate that shooting. It has to be handed off.
Makes sense, yeah.
So as soon as that happened, that night, that case went from the Kenosha Police Department to the Wisconsin Department of Justice Division of Criminal Investigations. It's a long title. Mm-hmm. They are investigating it.
Okay.
So they will make their recommendation. The district attorney then makes the decision, will this police officer and the other two police officers that were there, will they be charged criminally? Will they go to jail? Will they have a trial? Whatever. It's the DA's job. But before that happens, the investigation has to be completed. So a couple weeks ago, my boss comes out of his office, and our court reporter was off that day, and he goes, hey, just got an email from the DOJ. They're having a press conference tonight. I'm like, uh-oh. Here we go.
Yeah.
So I covered it, and tons of media, and I was talking to some reporters from Fox 6 and Channel 4. I'm like, what do you think? I said, the Attorney General's here. Like, Josh Call was in Kenosha. I said, he's not coming here just to smile. Like, something big's going to happen. Oh, yeah. As it turned out, it wasn't as big as we thought. What they did was they brought in an independent consultant.
Okay.
From Madison, former police chief. Now, his job is to take the DOJ report. He's going to analyze it, then he's going to give it to the DA. And so that should be happening any minute. We really should know soon what direction this is going to go. We're not going to know if the cop is going to be charged, but we're going to know what the DOJ uncovered by their investigation.
Yeah.
And that is going to dictate a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to dictate how busy you guys are going to be.
Right.
Sure.
I was in college when Rodney King happened. I was working at the student paper. I was an editor at the student paper the night that Rodney King, you guys are way too young, 1991, the night that the cops were acquitted in that, and it exploded LA. Ferguson, Missouri just happened not too long ago. Portland has been burning for how long has that been going on?
Yeah, Portland's crazy.
Right. So this will dictate a lot of what's going to happen. So we'll know more soon. We'll know more.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we got to figure some stuff out.
Yeah, well, we just got to have honest. I think people need to be honest. I think if people just, that first word right there, people, right? If we just care about
just be
people,
better.
Yeah.
Just be better. You know, and I say that to people all the time. I'm like, just be better. Hold the door open at the gas station. Say please and thank you.
Yeah.
Just be nicer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everyone's going through shit right now. Everyone.
Exactly, yeah.
There's not one person in the world who hasn't been affected by coronavirus.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everyone.
2020 in general
Right.
has
Just
done a doozy on
awful.
everybody, yeah.
Right. You know, jobs have been lost. Lives have been lost.
Well,
200 and some thousand people have died.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you too. How has the community, you know, being in the media, and a lot of people will be like, love to shit on media and whatnot. How has been, from your stance, the community reacted towards media, maybe even, you know, Kenosha News or whatever, over the course of this year, especially? Because I feel like it's the relationship between like Americans and media has just continuously been getting worse, or at least they believe less and less.
I mean, we get the same kind of abuses.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we write, we're either leaning one way or the other, and we get the fake news thing all the time. And
yeah,
we have the huge crowd of people that think Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero, and so they attack us when we write anything bad about Rittenhouse. We have a huge group of people that think Jacob Blake is the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Is he? I don't know. I mean, I'm not here to judge anybody. So they, you know, we get it all the time, and we're an easy target. We're an easy target. The media's an easy target. When I was covering sports, everyone loved us because, you know, sports is a whole different kettle of fish. Now I'm in the middle of the news thing, so you know, people will jump on us for anything. But as long a good friend of mine, I covered when one of the businesses downtown lost everything, and it was right after Trump had come. So I interviewed this furniture store owner about his situation. His building burned to the ground.
Yeah.
And he complimented President Trump quite a bit. And I quoted him. That's what he said.
Yeah, so you quoted it.
And I'm not a Trump fan.
Yeah.
Everyone who knows me knows I'm not. But one of my friends reached out to me. He's like, I give you a ton of credit because I read the Trump quotes, and he's like, it probably killed you to say anything nice about Trump. And I wrote back to him. I said, I didn't say it. The guy I interviewed said it.
Yeah.
My job is to report what he said.
Yeah.
My goals has always been two things: accuracy and balance. If I'm accurate and I'm balanced, I've done my job. I'm not here to pass judgment on anyone. But people, when they read the media, they'll see what they want to see, or they see what they pick out what they want.
So when you say accurate, that's obviously, you know, covering it correctly. You know, misrepresenting it, but balance. What do you mean by balance?
I want to be balanced right down the middle. I don't want anyone to think that I'm leaning one way or the other. I don't want anyone to think. Anyone who knows me personally knows I can't stand Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But when I'm writing my stories, if Donald Trump is being praised by someone, I just write it. You know, obviously he's got a lot of supporters. You know, I'm not one of them, but that's not when I'm working. That's not my job.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to be down the middle. Tell it exactly what it is. I think we get paid as reporters, as news journalists, to observe, to listen, to see things, to talk to people, to communicate, and then whatever happens, happens. I covered a court hearing before I came here today. I just covered what happened.
Yeah.
I didn't make anything up. I had nothing against the man who got sentenced. I had nothing against, whatever happened, happened, you know.
Yeah.
I just write it down, and I write it, you know.
What do you think is the biggest thing that people, especially in America, don't maybe understand about media, being someone who works in the media or for the media? Like, what do you think that it is? Where does that disconnect maybe in your mind come from?
I think it's come from social media.
Yeah.
I think it's come, and I talked to a group of kids at Westosha a couple weeks ago, Mr. Franz, if you remember.
Yeah.
He's now teaching and coaching at Westosha Central. He was doing a unit on media, so he reached out to me. He said, would you mind? I said, I love doing that stuff. So I got on Zoom because he can't go in the schools, which was a bummer because I'd rather be in the classroom. But anyway, social media has made our jobs very difficult because now anyone with a computer and an internet link can call themselves a journalist.
True.
And they don't have to fact check anything.
Yeah.
I mean, bloggers don't have to fact check anything. They can write whatever they want. I'm a sports nut, and anyone can put out rumors on any trade that's going to happen. But if you're not Tom Hardecourt, who covers the Brewers for 30 years, I'm not sure I believe, Jimmy Joe Bob, who's in his mother's basement.
Well, there's a lot of people that have, I forget the company that even admitted to it. It was on the Patriot Act, Hassan Minaj. He was covering, and he actually got an interview with one of the guys who owned and started this company where they literally promote, it's completely fake news. And he knows.
Yeah.
So they have I think he owns 2 sites. I think he owns one completely far right and one completely far left.
Yeah.
And what he does is, because he knows people just want to see what they want to see.
Right.
And so your Facebook feed is who are you friends with, right? They all probably share similar views to you, right? So he knew that I'm gonna sell AdSense on my website. So if I just write this bullshit article for these people and then I do the exact opposite article, I'm hitting both markets.
Right.
And he's just gonna make a ton of money. And he has no shame in it.
Right.
And there's a couple companies that do that, and that's like a slap in the face to someone like you and to people that are actually trying to do their job.
Yeah, it has really made it difficult. And I talked to some of those kids, and they all admitted, a lot of them admitted to me, they don't watch the news, they don't read the newspaper. I'm like, well, where do you get your news from? Facebook or Instagram. You guys are killing me.
Yeah.
They're all in school still, so not old enough to vote yet. But I told a couple of them, I said, you guys got to start educating yourselves. And don't believe everything. You got to fact check some stuff here and figure it out what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
And get your information from all different sources. I read multiple sources every day, and I'm on Washington Post, I'm on the New York Times, USA Today, Kenosha News. All that stuff. Yeah. And I just try to get it all in. But the bloggers that don't have to do the fact check, and the sites like the Kenosha County Scanner are scary because people are putting stuff out there that isn't real. And one example was during the George Floyd thing. Yeah. So that had happened, and we had riots in Kenosha. Mm-hmm. Someone on Kenosha County Scanner went on and said that the U.S. Cellular store was being burned to the ground or was being broken into. The owner of that store went there with his videotape, and it was fine. Yeah. But they did that to throw him off the scent, Yeah. So the fake news thing that has become the mantra that, the president likes to use, that has made life difficult, because there's journalists like me or like our whole staff who we're trained in this stuff. I've written thousands of stories. I've done this forever. We know what we're doing. Yeah. And not everyone does, and they don't have the sources that they can go to. Like, we'll call the lieutenant at the police department. Did this happen? No. Okay. Didn't think so. Thanks. Yeah. But that's the battle that we fight.
Yeah, it's tough. I think with social media too. Like I was mentioning before, when it's your group of friends, it's without trying to come out any specific person or any specific point of view. If you and your friends only have ever known or lived one way, and so you maybe all have this very closed-minded, perspective on what reality is, and a couple of those friends are posting this thing, you're just going to believe, well, these guys wouldn't lie to me, those are my best friends, whatever, but maybe they just don't know, you know, maybe they just don't know. And that's what bothers me so much is that it's pretty evident now. I don't think people have the excuse, at least in my book, I don't excuse people for that. I get you don't know, but you're choosing to not know. If you were going to choose to believe it because you saw 2 of your friends post it instead of reading one more article. Yeah. And most of the time it's just headlines too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just whatever is the shareable link. Yeah. Will get people. And I know that from, being semi in media doing this, it's, if I post a thumbnail with, let's say I clip something out of this and it's Kenosha protests and I put something negative or even a positive connotation and I put a picture of one of us and then police something on the other side, people are going to click that. Oh yeah. And other people will share it just thinking, oh, look at this idiot thinking he knows whatever, and they didn't even watch the video. Right. Or they didn't even read the article in most cases. And that, it scares me. It really does.
We've noticed a huge influx, and this is the younger generation that is watching and reading now. Photo packages on our website go crazy with the clicks. Oh, yeah. Crazy. Because nobody now, I shouldn't say nobody, most people now want their news like this. Yeah. And they want it in little snippets. I could write the most glorious story of the biggest hip hop sensation in Twin Lakes.
Do it, man.
Right?
Do it.
Thousands of words about you.
Yeah, yeah.
And people are going to look at the photos. Yeah, and especially your guys' age and even younger, than
it's
you
the
guys.
Thumbnail, man. That's what shares. That's why it's big on YouTube.
They want it now, Yeah. as someone like me at my age, I still will take the Sunday newspaper in my hands and I'll read it cover to cover.
Yeah.
My dad, who's 70, refuses to. It takes him hours to read the Sunday Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. He meticulously goes, and that's what he does. That's his generation.
Yeah.
His generation isn't on the smartphones. You know,
Yeah.
I've got my smartphone right next to me. I'm just
Yeah.
as guilty of it.
Yeah.
You know, but we don't have attention spans anymore. We just
No.
don't.
No, we definitely don't.
You know, I mean, it's all like got to happen right now. You know.
Yeah, it's tough too, and you know, you mentioned, you know, trying to be balanced and be accurate and whatnot. I think it's, and I don't want to put it all on this president, but it is crazy how much this is like amplified, where like this distrust for the media has come from, where even somebody like, you know, a Chris Wallace who works at Fox News, if you don't know and you're a Fox News viewer, it's a very pro-Trump
Right.
channel, and he is without a doubt a conservative. He is without a doubt right-leaning, 100%, and he asked like just a couple of fair questions in that debate, and people were, I know people that I went to high school with that are very far right-leaning that were just tweeting, fuck Chris Wallace, all this
Right, and he works for
like,
Fox.
I'm like, dude, he spent, and I think he actually just was back on Fox. I saw a clip of it, him explaining like it took him and his team like 30 plus hours to compile, like to make sure they had the questions that they really wanted to go with, and he was really just genuinely upset that the president didn't want to, you know, was trying to make it, because that's what he, and again, I don't want to get super like bipartisan here, but it's like that's his whole tactic, and that's what bothers me, that a lot of people don't understand about him. It's what a lot of people do. It's, oh, I'm not winning this argument, or at least in his mind he thinks he's not. I'm not going to tell you who won or who didn't win, but in his mind he knows, you know, or thinks maybe I'm not winning this. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say it's not fair now, because then that will discredit it. It's like if me and you are playing a video game and I'm like, and you start beating me, I'm like, well, I wasn't really trying.
Right.
Right. Or it's like, oh, it feels like, well, you know the game, blah, 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 like just making an excuse. And I do feel bad for Chris Wallace and whoever else has to host the rest of the debates. I don't know.
If it even is,
yeah, it's going to be rough.
That debate was such an embarrassment.
Oh, yeah.
Just to kind of get off on a tangent. I fell asleep early, so I missed most of the disaster. That was like worse than a train wreck. That was the worst thing in the history of the world. Like,
Yeah.
These two idiots. I mean.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's really sad. And and even watching, I went back and watched a little bit of the 2016 ones, which were pretty bad as well. But then going back just even a little bit further, look at like the Bush debates, the Obama-Romney, Obama-McCain debates, like all those debates were, I mean, they still, you know, everyone would be like, oh, this is bad. Like they're just taking shots at each other. But
Yeah.
God, at least they like told you what, like you knew what guys stood for what. Like I have no
Just
idea.
terrible.
If I didn't do my own research and know what each of these two people were about, I would
Yeah.
have no idea after watching that.
It was awful, and this is like such a huge election in the history of this country.
There's a lot of shit
There's a
riding on
lot
this.
at stake in this election, and
Yeah.
I'm a big, like, the younger people, the new voters, the 18-year-olds who are just getting into their first president. I remember my first presidential election. I was in college. I was when I went to college, I was 17. I was 18 at the end of my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
And so my first presidential election was Bill Clinton. And I remember just the excitement of like voting for the president.
Yeah.
It was such an exciting day. And I can't imagine being 18 and being like, really? These are my two choices?
Yeah, especially
Fabulous.
because a lot of people aren't really tapped into like the political sphere, and so like that's like for them, this is where it's like, okay, this is where I get my information on these people, right?
Yeah.
And like if that's where you got it, if that's where like you hadn't done any prior,
Right.
you're fucked.
You're right.
There's no way
Right.
that you know what anybody I credit I do applaud Chris Wallace for trying to. I think people were like shitting on it. I know there's the people that are big Trump people that were shitting on him because they thought he was being super biased, and I know other people that were like left leaning were shitting on him because he couldn't control Trump. But I mean, like the guy was doing the best he could.
It was awful.
They were both a joke
terrible.
up there, and this man is trying to bring these two people. It was bad. I will say that and this is, and you don't have to comment on this if you don't want to, but my audience knows where I stand on a lot of this stuff, and I will say that I think it is a cop out for a lot of big Trumpers to keep going. They're both just straight garbage. Definitely were. I'm not gonna discredit that, But if we're not going to pretend like one person came in trying to have a conversation and the other person came in trying to throw them off course, I'll be straight with people. I'm not in love with Joe Biden.
Right.
Nobody is.
Right.
I don't think anybody is, to be honest with you. But
he doesn't.
But he's not a very charismatic guy. He's all the jokes about Sleepy Joe and whatnot. I think those are valid, jokes. I wouldn't call them criticisms, but I applaud him for at least coming in and trying. He was looking like straight at the camera, trying to talk to the American people. Tried bringing in some of his policies, and somebody, his opponent came in with a different idea of
bullying him.
Yeah,
just gonna bully. We're just gonna run over him.
I'm just gonna talk over you. I'm just gonna ignore questions. And I don't know if you saw this with being in media and whatnot, but the Proud Boys whole comment or whatever that went viral, right? They got hacked. Was it yesterday or today?
Yeah.
They got hacked.
I just saw it again today. Yeah.
Yeah, by the LGBTQ plus community, and I think they're pretty upset about that.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah. I'm not, and it's hard for me to not smile when that happens, just because of how. I do think that's it's crazy, man. It's a joke, and I get when people say, "Oh, it was all a joke," but it really does bother me because as somebody who I sat through the whole thing, I watched it very intently, trying to, I wouldn't say I'm an undecided voter. I know who I'm voting for, but just trying to see what is to like about one candidate or the other, right? And you didn't get a lot of it, but it was clear that one is a gateway to something that could be better, and one is, let's go backwards.
What I don't understand is how a sitting president is given the opportunity to denounce white nationalists, to denounce it, and he doesn't do it, and people still support him. I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I saw. There was a lot of people there's an influencer I follow, this girl on TikTok who she's like a commentator on it. Obviously not super like a journalist or anything like that, but she commentates on stuff, and she's getting attacked relentlessly by Trump supporters right now. After she basically quoted during the debate, pulled up the video of him not denouncing it or whatever, and people making it. And she brought up a good point today, and it was don't be so hard on these people. They're at a loss right now. They believed in him. And they probably all thought he was going to say, "Oh, sweet, he's going to say no. Then that means he doesn't, right?" And so now we can say he doesn't, but then he didn't even. And so they don't know. That's an identity crisis, basically.
It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
That our sitting president is okay with that.
Yeah.
He's okay with it.
Yeah, and to not come out afterwards and just clear it up either. Granted, we would all know, we know where you actually stand,
right.
But to not even attempt to do the politically correct, to be, and that's what fucks me up too, is that people are they love him because he's not politically correct, and it's I don't, in what what way? What about that is great? He can't even lie and say he's not into that or against it.
It's I still shake my head when I think that Donald Trump is our president.
It was in The Simpsons, dude. It was a joke.
It was crazy.
It was literally a joke 20 years ago.
I remember 2016 election night. I was home and watching the election returns come in. I was home watching it by myself. And as I was going to bed, Florida had just fallen for Trump. And I knew that was the end. Because once Florida's the key.
Yeah.
Florida's the key. And I'm as I'm putting my head down to my pillow going, Donald Trump is our president. What in the hell just happened?
Yeah.
So to me, November 3rd is awfully important.
It's my birthday. And Matt's
Is it your birthday?
It's my birthday, Matt's birthday, Steph Ollinger, my roommate Curtis.
Nice.
Everybody I know's fucking birthday is on October.
That's my
November
surgical
3rd.
pre-op day, by the way.
Okay, cool. So you'll be celebrating for me then by doing that.
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool. It's how do you, I want to know if you're willing to get into it, how you feel about people, doing mail-in ballots and the whole this again. I'm trying to not be super partisan here, but knowing when you can see bullshit, you can see bullshit. And for me, I know, and this isn't me calling out anybody who does love Trump or anything like that. When he is telling you people, when he's trying to tell his base that there's fraud and that it's false and whatnot, I know that, and at least from the research I've done now, is that's because the night of election, because so many people that maybe are left leaning or that have been taking COVID seriously, whatever, and wanted to vote early, a lot of people are voting early, and those votes are most likely more so favoring Biden. That is going to show on election night, most likely, because those votes are going to take time to get counted, that he will be winning for X amount of time during election night, and it might not be till day 2, 3,
Right.
or 4 that it starts to flip over.
Right.
And that's what really scares me, that I hope that people, his base will understand, is that that's what he is trying to tell you. It's like if we walk into a bar and I know the bartender is going to ask me this, and I'd say this or whatever, and if I tell you, he's going to ask me this, and if he does, that means blah, 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 blah. Now, just because the first thing was right, doesn't mean that's what it's going to be, right? So he wants everybody to believe just because it changes, it's going to be fraud.
Right.
From the mail-in
And there's
voting.
no evidence.
No, it's
There's
been
no
proven
evidence.
over and over again
Over
that
and
it's
over
not.
again. You know, I'm going to early vote.
Yeah.
Because I got things to do on the 3rd, and we're going to be busy at work. It's the biggest election in the history of the world, so I'm going to vote early. And I'm going to go and vote early just because I kind of like do. I like watching the ballot go into the machine, and then I can go touchdown.
Yeah.
Yes, I did it right.
Yeah.
So then I know that my ballot was correct, and I was able to do it right.
McKenna already voted.
And McKenna already voted.
Respect.
I like how she chatted there, and she's sitting right over here.
Yeah. Well, they can't hear her all the time now with the new mic, so
Oh.
they gotta.
I like that.
She's gotta comment.
Like, oh, McKenna. Oh, hi.
Yeah, I think it's crazy, and I wanted to get it. I guess we already talked about it a little bit with reporting and whatnot, but like reporting during this pandemic and whatnot, like how has that been for you? Because I mean, you can't. There's a lot of stuff you can't do. You're
Right.
wearing masks. You're doing Zoom calls for
Yeah.
court things and
Yeah.
whatnot. That's gotta be interesting.
Early on, right as the pandemic hit, we went totally from home. Like,
Okay.
anyone who wanted to work, like, in fact, our boss, like the upper bosses were like, no, we need to all be from home.
Yeah.
And then, so we had a couple people that would scraggle in here and there. I worked from home for probably the first 2 to 3 weeks solid from home. And then but my role changed at the pandemic. I had been doing sports, and then we lost a couple reporters to buyouts, which is the way of the journalism world now. So they left, and one of our news reporters left. He took a buyout. So my boss kind of called me, and he's like, I'm going to switch you from sports to news, which turned out to be okay because there was no sports to cover.
Yeah.
So my role changed. So then I had all these questions I was always asking. So it became difficult to work from home because I was emailing my boss every 5 seconds, because I've covered news for years, but I didn't cover news in Kenosha. I had no contacts. I had no knowledge of who was doing what. He'd send me these stories like, who am I talking to? So eventually I came into the office, but for the most part, we were working from home.
Yeah.
We were doing phone interviews, Zoom calls, covering court from Zoom. It was very different, at first. Now we're all basically back in the office. We've been in there for a while.
Yeah.
It's just easier,
Yeah.
But, it definitely changed everything. Like even in court, I covered this court hearing today, and it was in person, and everyone's wearing a mask. And so I couldn't hear the judge. I felt like I was watching Charlie Brown and the teacher.
He was just talking.
I had to ask one of the district attorneys exactly to make sure I had it accurate what happened. Like at the end, I couldn't tell what the sentence was that he gave the guy. I'm like, because he was like, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I'm in the front row of the courtroom, and I'm like leaning
And it's your job to know what he's saying.
I'm trying to get
Yeah,
right, and I'm like,
exactly.
I've got my little pad. I'm like, what, judge? And he's got his mask on because that's how we have to roll now. So, the pandemic definitely changed a lot of that.
I'm sure a lot of stories focused on that
Forever. I mean,
still now.
I've
yeah.
written. I took pictures today because Sean was off today. They sent me out to the free COVID testing the National Guard was doing. We just needed some art, so I went out to the job center, and cars were lined up around the block. I mean, they're getting their free COVID testing. So I was shooting pictures. I honestly don't think it's going to go away for a long, long time. I think we just have to learn how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And hopefully when a vaccine is working, like we've got it tested and it's good.
Yeah.
I just scheduled my flu shot today because I have a family of nurses and medical people. So my mom doesn't let me go 5 minutes without reminding me that I need a flu shot, and especially with the surgery coming up. I don't want to be running into any flu bugs. So I'm going next week to get my flu shot. So as soon as I can go to my doctor and say, well, I'm getting my flu shot, can you give me a COVID shot too? That'd be great.
Yeah.
I just think it's here.
Yeah.
It's not going away.
Yeah, I think that it does suck that, like, and I get like why people are upset, but like it's like you're getting mad that the sun's gonna rise again, like I think the only thing that pisses me off is that we could have probably handled it better,
Absolutely.
and we didn't. So
And look at all the other nations around the world. They're all doing much better than we are.
yeah, I think
We fight the
we're still a
mask.
travel ban on
Yeah,
the U.S., right? We
absolutely.
can't go places. Yeah, that's
Like if
insane
you
to me.
drive down into Illinois right now and you get pulled over and you have Wisconsin plates, they're going to make you quarantine.
Yeah,
You can't come to Illinois.
yeah.
It's 2 miles that way.
Yeah, it is insane. I just feel like, again, I know what our politicians like love to say, like it was unfolding as like, and they didn't know everything and whatever, but it comes out later that they did know. And for me, I just feel like it would have been, if everybody would have just really bunkered down, if
Yeah.
it would have been, okay, here's your 3-day notice, we're going in a 2-week isolation, no exception, can't leave your house.
Right.
2 weeks, hardcore quarantine. Then I would have done the next month would have been only essential businesses, mask, social distance.
Right.
Then after that would have been a month of, okay, let's reintegrate everybody, but social distance, masks required. I bet by the fucking end of summer we would have been good.
Been done.
And it just sucks, dude. I joked about it with people over and over again. I've joked about it on the show that it is like working out. It was like people wore the masks. They stood inside for 4 days, started getting warm, realized they don't like their wife that much, and then they were just like, you know what? I don't think the mask works.
Right.
That's like me getting on the treadmill,
Right.
wanting to lose weight, running for 3 days, and then
Didn't lose any weight.
Well, I didn't lose any weight. Must not work. Fuck,
Right.
fuck the gym.
Back
like,
to pizza.
yeah, it just blows my mind, and that's what really bothers me is that like everybody universally loved Dr. Fauci he was
Right.
universal. Everyone was like, this is a guy, regardless of politics, we can agree on.
And all of a
right?
sudden he's like the evil.
The second it got warm, and it
Right.
was like, well, you might not be able to do the parade this year. It was
Right.
like, well, you know what? I don't know if that guy.
He's changing everything. He's flip flop. I when people tell me that, I'm like, it's called science.
Yeah,
Science evolves,
yeah,
and it's also called a novel coronavirus.
yes, dude. That's
Look up the word novel.
we've never seen it before,
We've
right?
never had it.
Yeah, exactly.
Novel. So it's changing. So I get so angry at people that bitch about their masks.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fun to wear a mask? I was in court today for an hour with a damn mask on. Was it fun? No.
You chew gum with a mask on?
I do.
And it's that burns my eyes,
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
Like
I
I
do.
can't do it.
I
Like,
do.
And so like it's not fun at all.
Oh yeah, I had the gum in because even though you're not supposed to chew gum in the courtroom, I still put some on. And then I saw the bailiff putting gum in. I'm like, I'm fine.
Oh, yeah, you're
Bailiff's
good.
eating gum. I can have gum.
Yeah.
But before today, the longest I had to wear a mask was 45 minutes in the doctor's office waiting for my doctor to come in to do my physical.
Yeah.
People are wearing these things for 12 hours. My
Yeah.
sister's a nurse. She's in full
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
One
Your
of my-
surgeon has
Right.
to wear
He
regardless
damn-
of COVID.
He damn sure better be wearing a mask.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I'm going to be knocked out, so I'm hoping he's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
One of my high school friends who's a nurse, you know, she's taking care of babies and stuff, and she's got to look past her. She has to have a shield and a mask and gloves and a gown, and she's trying to like do CPR on infants sometimes. She's got to
God.
save their lives, and she's
Yeah.
like, oh, you know, yeah, life sucks sometimes. Put the damn mask on.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah. It's
It drives me crazy.
it is hilarious where it's just I don't know. There's a lot of holes you can poke in people's
It's
arguments.
called, like, people are like, well, there's no science that says it's going to work. I'm like, it's called protecting other people. Think about the kid working at the grocery store who's making $8 an hour, who's handling, what's the most filthiest thing you can handle all day? Money.
Yeah.
Money is gross.
Oh yeah.
All right. So they're dealing with cash all day, and people don't have a mask on, and they're sending their COVID into their face. They're making no money. Put the damn mask on. Take care of the
Yeah.
young kid who's working as a clerk.
Yeah. Because you don't know who they go
Doesn't
home
hurt
to
you.
too.
I'm in Quick Trip for 45 seconds to get a cup of coffee. I put my mask on. It's not a big deal.
Exactly.
Doesn't hurt. I wear the cool Gators. I got the Packers and the Brewers, and I
Yeah.
just flip the Gator. Because at work we're very aware of it. You know, our cubicles at work are kind of far apart, but if we have to talk to each other, everyone just throws it on. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
If we hadn't fought it, we'd be done by now.
I believe you there.
You
I'm
know,
100%.
If
Yeah.
we hadn't fought it, we'd be done.
That's what sucks. It's like
Look at everything we missed.
yeah, that's what it's like.
Summerfest,
It's like
your
an angry
gigs.
kid. Yeah, it's like an angry kid that doesn't want to clean the room, but like
Yeah.
the second they clean the
You just
room, you can
clean
go
it.
outside.
Right.
You
You
know?
can go outside and play. I
Yeah.
mean, that's how, why fight it? It's like, eat your damn lima beans. You can leave the table. I know lima beans suck, but eat them.
Yeah, and one of the thing that sucks too is that, like the whole argument of like businesses and whatnot, and it sucks because again, I just don't think people are understanding that it's like, yeah, businesses are hurting, but if we had dealt with it swiftly,
Yeah.
businesses would be fine.
They'd be back.
Now they are still hurting
Yeah.
because if they try and reopen, then someone gets it, then they face backlash for that, and then they whatever. And it's like, well, maybe we just took it seriously.
I remember when we shut down, like March 13th is when it started. My softball season was starting on March 16th, so it was just a couple days before. I remember telling one of my kids, I'm like, maybe in a couple weeks we'll be back.
Yeah. Oh God, isn't that funny?
7 months
Yeah.
later.
Oh my God.
I thought, we're the United States. We'll get a handle on this thing, right?
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
same,
how
yeah.
hard for the United States? How hard can it be?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's here. Okay, so let's fix it.
Let's deal with it
Right.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, we're down for a couple weeks, and like that wasn't like that odd of a thought. People are like, okay, a couple weeks, this. I remember having conversations as a coaches association. We had Zoom meetings and stuff with our people in our organization saying, well, maybe by April 1st we'll get started for our spring season. And if we can, that was the date. One of my good friends is the head coach at Stevens Point, legend, Hall of Famer. I've known him forever. And I called him, and it's Tom Droner. I said, Tommy, what are we looking at? You think April 1st? He's like, if we can get to April 1st and we can get going, we can get this thing going. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. It's a.
that day came and went. Never
God.
had a season.
It is October 5th.
Right.
That's
We're
insane.
still dealing with this thing.
Yeah.
And now what's going to happen when the flu mixes in? It's flu season coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
I worry about the winter.
Yeah.
This could get bad.
Yeah, it really could too, especially with everything going on and depending on protesting and whatnot too. That's gonna.
I was a little worried about that. We
Yeah.
talked about that as a staff. We're like, if we're ever going to get corona, now is when we're going to get it.
Yeah. Just
'Cause-
from being exposed to
Oh,
other
yeah.
people.
I mean, and a lot of people were wearing masks when they were protesting, but a lot weren't.
I mean, and that's the thing too. That's crazy. It's like people that don't believe in it and whatever. It's like I don't understand. That's like I think someone tweeted this and it's a quote. But the great thing about science is that like regardless if you believe in it or not, it's still there.
It's going to do its thing.
Yeah, and it sucks, dude. It's like I mean, look at the president of the United States got coronavirus.
And look at all the people around him that got it. And if you look at that, there's a photo that you've probably seen that's circulating around when they were announcing the next Supreme Court judge. All these people
Oh yeah.
without a mask, and like all of them are getting.
Bunched up.
Oh yeah, they're sitting on top of each other, no mask.
Yeah, it's just that's what someone had sent it to me and asked me to cover it. I think I wrote it down somewhere. Someone wanted me to go over the Twin Lakes had a fall festival thing recently in town. The Twin Lakes Chamber put it on, and nobody was wearing a mask. Hundreds of people there, no one's wearing a mask. It's like, come on, guys, just put the mask on.
Right.
And it's like too, especially like outside, you could probably get away with just wearing the mask.
Yeah.
Like it's probably okay, but like there's enough space for everybody to be around. Like I don't know. I went and played basketball recently, and everybody's there wearing a mask, playing basketball.
Yeah.
We're outside playing basketball,
Yeah.
running around, and
Yeah.
that's so like I don't know, like people complaining about it. It's like okay, play a 5-on-5 basketball game with a mask, like and
Look
you
at
can
everything-
breathe in it.
Look at
still.
everything we've sacrificed. I mean, and I've got a story that I've been sitting on because of all this stuff that's been going on in Kenosha, but on the mental health aspects of COVID. I went down to Waukegan and I interviewed a bunch of these doctors at this facility because they were seeing a lot of Kenosha patients. So I'm still sitting on that story. It's going to take me a while to write it, but the thing that I got out of that interview was the mental aspect to the senior citizens
Mhm.
and to kids. Really bad. Like the young people are really hurting. And I'm talking high school seniors who've lost their ability to have their senior year. But I'm talking college kids too, who have I have a friend of mine whose daughter got into Northwestern. She earned her way into Northwestern University. Very prestigious deal. She's at home in Williams Bay taking her classes because she can't be on campus. What kind of college experience is that?
Yeah,
She
it
got into
sucks.
Northwestern.
And they will say, "I'm calling you colleges out. You guys are still charging fucking
Right.
full price, dude. It
Right.
is so.
It's
it is
crazy.
I have a bone to pick with a lot of professors,
Absolute-
man. These professors, you guys got I made a joke video about it a while back when COVID first started. And I thought it was going to go away because my professors were bad with it. But I need to make a follow up because my God, you guys have PhDs and we can't figure out how to record our voice over a PowerPoint.
Right.
Are you shitting me? I have this. There's a teacher I have. I'm not gonna put anybody's name on blast, but it's a class. It's like a financial literacy. Not financial literacy, more so accounting, but for like business. And the slides, like he doesn't understand how to do the slides for it, and so it's just him like screaming into this microphone. Like it's like he like recorded it right here with like an iPhone headphone microphone, and it sounds like he's screaming into it, and you can't listen to it. And like I think somebody's emailed him about it because he like posted like he like typed up one of them, but he just left the other 7-something chapters like that. So it's just a joke,
Right.
And you're charging full price.
I mean, look at the kids at UW-Madison a while back who got quarantined in the 2 dorms. I mean, right after the semester started. So collect their cash and then quarantine the kids. Awesome.
Well, and then two, and then two, it's stupid because it's like you knew that was going to happen. You didn't put anything like you only had things in place during class,
Right.
And you're just like do
What
whatever
about
you want
in the
dorm.
dorms?
Yeah,
I mean, when I was in college 1,000 years ago, when one kid on the dorm got the flu, we all got the flu. I mean, we were living on top of each other.
exactly. Yeah,
You
there's
know?
3 people in a room,
Right,
sometimes.
you know,
yeah.
and like a community bathroom and like a locker room shower. I mean,
Yeah.
if one person gets freaking plague, everyone's getting it, you know?
Exactly.
So not only the kids, but like the seniors. Like I remember my mom and dad, who are both 70, like they're my sister and my brother-in-law's babysitters for the 3 grandkids and my niece and nephews. They didn't get to do anything with them for the longest time. My sister, who's a nurse, like grounded my parents. She's like, "You're not coming over. You can't. You know, I can't have you." So the mental aspect of this whole COVID thing is going to be far-reaching, and we don't even know about the physical aspect of it. You know, what's the long-term damage to lungs and heart and kidneys
and
and
our
liver.
insurance company's gonna consider it as a precondition.
This thing is not going away. I worry for like my niece and nephews who are very young, single digits yet. They got a long way to go. I'm coming down the hill, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, you'll be gone while we're
Yeah,
dealing with it.
you
That's
guys
what
will be
you're
dealing
saying?
with
Yeah.
it. Coach T will be a memory.
Hopefully not. Hopefully
Another-
Coach T will be around.
Maybe another. Yeah. I don't know if I can squeeze 50 years out of it. That'd be 99.
That would be insane.
I don't want to start drilling again.
Yeah,
I don't want to revert back to that.
Yeah, I don't know that I would want to. Because McKenna's doing clinicals and whatnot now. I just don't know that I want to get that old. I don't want to not be me anymore.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I want to be me until I'm not, and then I'm good.
Then we're good.
Yeah. I'll just
Had a good run.
go skydiving with you with no parachute though.
Right.
Instead, I'll just go with no parachute.
I've had so many people tell me, "Are you nuts? Like you lose all this weight, now you're gonna go skydiving?" Like, well, you know, if the 3rd parachute fails, because I think you get 3. I think there's one on me. There's one on the. I'm not going by myself. I'm got a tandem person strapped to me.
Yeah.
And I think there's an emergency. So if 3 parachutes are gonna fail, that's just God's way of saying that's it.
David Blaine just made it up to like the stratosphere with fucking balloons, so I think you'll be okay. And he parachuted back down, so you'll be all right.
I think 18,000 feet and jumping out of that damn plane is gonna be pretty wild, and I'm scared to death of heights.
Yeah.
Scared to death.
Yeah, same. I don't plan on skydiving anytime soon either, though.
I've had a lot of people be like, "You're nuts." I'm like, you know, when you accomplish something like this, you got to do something epic.
Yeah.
You know, so
You got to be a little bit crazy to, want to
Absolutely.
jump out of a plane. I wouldn't even take offense to that. It's like,
No.
yeah, fuck yeah, I'm crazy.
and I probably need the same drug in the plane as I'm gonna need on the day of my surgery because I'm
Yeah.
gonna be a nervous wreck. Maybe my anesthesiologist can come with me.
You're going to get up there and be like,
Fuck
whoa,
this,
okay,
right?
yeah, it's windy.
I'm
we're good.
out. Yeah,
we're
no
good.
chance. I'm like holding on as they're like, I'm gonna tell the guy when I do it, I'm gonna be like, don't even count down, okay? Don't even warn me. Just
Yeah. I
'cause
want
once
to know.
once we've jumped, I got nothing.
You can't do anything.
That's
then.
it.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it.
I want to know. I want you to tell me after you do it if it's like, because like even when you go on like a really high roller coaster or you like do like a bungee jump or you just fall down really far, like it's that initial like fall that's so scary, but then after that it's kind of just awesome. I want to know like how different it is than that, because it's like still just the same initial falling off. It just happens to be 18,000 feet and no cord attached.
I've talked to people that did it, and they said the first 5 seconds or so is this most terrified they've been in their entire life. But then once the parachute opens, then it's just beautiful and peaceful and quiet.
Yeah.
Everyone tells me how quiet it is up there. It's just quiet.
Yeah.
I'll probably be screaming.
Yeah.
Ah!
Probably, yeah.
What the hell am I doing?
Yeah, that's gonna.
Why
be
did I
insane.
do this? Why did I pay to do this? But I'm gonna have video and pictures for sure.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Oh, absolutely. So this is a one-time thing.
Yeah.
My first tattoo I got was a one-time thing. Then I got a little bit nutty. I got like 5 of them.
Yeah, 5 years from now, you're gonna be like, "Hey, I'm a trainer now at the
Right.
skydiving academy, Darren. You should really come give it
Right.
a try." Yeah.
And I'll have like 97 tattoos.
Full sleeves,
right.
face tats,
right, all over
everything.
the teardrops.
The works.
Right.
Mrs. J Rod says, "Hi, what's going on?" I want to know. We talked about your book. You mentioned it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And you said it. I think this was before we ended up going live. I think because it was like the first time we thought we were live or whatever. You're still working on the book.
Yeah.
You're still working on the book.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? When do you think the book's gonna be done? When am I gonna be able to read it?
I'm hoping to take some of this time away from the gym I'm gonna have and some from work.
Oh yeah.
To jam some of that out because I started it and then I kind of went back and read it and I kind of got rid of that part and I kind of retooled some things because I want it to be, I'm hoping it's inspirational and I want to tell my story, but I want to give people like tips on how to get through some things.
Do you want it to more so be like self-help centered?
Yeah.
Like even if they're not necessarily going through the same thing exactly, but they could take.
And I've gone through some stuff during this thing. I've had some anxieties that have come out. I've had some some things in my brain that, like, I think we talked about it earlier. Is just when you have such a major change in your appearance. I mean, people are like, I'll tell you a quick story, and then I'll get back to the book. I was at, sadly enough, at a funeral about 2 or 3 weeks ago of a friend of mine who passed in Lake Geneva. So I was at this reception at Hawksview, and there was all these people. I lived there for 15 years, so I have a lot of friends from back there. So I'm with all these people. So I'm sitting with a buddy of mine. He's to my left. I've known him for 30 years. His wife is sitting where you're sitting. I went to their wedding. Okay. She came to my bar when I was a bartender multiple times.
Yeah.
We've met. We were talking for 20 minutes. Zero clue who I was. None.
Wow.
Her husband finally says, he looks at her and goes, "Honey, do you know who you're talking to?" She goes like, "No." She had
so
no
awkward. Yeah, that's
clue.
funny.
And I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew she had no clue.
You could tell.
I was giggling the whole time. So I pulled up my before picture that everyone's seen.
Yeah.
And I gave her my phone. I said, she goes, "Oh my God, that's you."
Yeah.
So I mean, I get that all the time, which is great, but there's a whole mental aspect of this whole journey. And I was talking to Amanda about it even yesterday or the day before, because we're very close still. And she's always told me, "Well, what were your crutches when you were really heavy?" Your crutches were food and alcohol. I drank a lot of booze and I ate a lot of food. And when you get rid of those, but then the stress of life still rolls merrily along, you have to find ways to fix that. So I've gone through some ups and downs, even on the successes of this journey. So and I've told people that who are going through the journey themselves, I'm like, prepare yourself for the mental part of it.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm trying to figure out in my head how to enjoy what I've done. I haven't figured that out yet. Mm-hmm. I'm very competitive. And as a coach, I mean, what do we always tell you guys? Great win. Now we got to get ready for the next one, you know? And there's never any time to stop and smell the roses.
Yeah.
I've accomplished a lot. I got to learn how to enjoy that. So that's kind of the things I want to put in the book. I want to tell my story because I think it's a pretty crazy story, but I want to help if I can. That's why I want to do more public speaking too, I think. Because I think I can help people because you have to sacrifice a lot. I've given up a lot of a social life. I've given up a lot of the things that I've enjoyed because I've been so driven and so focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of what I want to get into that book. And so it's kind of still a work in progress. I'm a newspaper writer, so it's a whole different.
It's a different style.
Of writing. I'm a who, what, where, when, and why am I like? I covered 2 events on Saturday. I came back. I told my editor, I said, "Okay, what do you want?" He's like, 30 inches on that one and 20 on that one. Okay, so I got my marching orders. I wrote 30 and I wrote 20. Done. Mm-hmm. But in a book, you got to kind of like develop more. You're not. Yeah. So it's a whole different. I've been doing newspapers for 25 years, so I have that style down.
Yeah.
But so it'll be a fun project. I'm hoping maybe by spring.
That'd be sweet.
I'm hoping.
That'd be really cool.
I'd like to get it out there just to say I'm published. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that'd be
awesome.
awesome.
I'm not looking to make money on it or anything. I mean, if people pay $1 for it, I guess that'd be great.
That's a win.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, if I could sell 1 million of them at $1, then I'm good to go.
There you go. I think last time you were on, you said 500,000 at $2.
There you go.
We can do that. I think we can do that.
I think we can get 500,000.
We could do it for sure. Do you think you mentioned with the whole mental thing, like when people are like, "Oh my God, that's you," whatever. Is it hard? I'm sure like that definitely gives you like
love it,
a really great feeling. Is it hard for you to Is it hard? Do you ever feel like you're chasing that feeling then? Is that something that you like fear, like as you finish up here, that like you're going to be like, people that's just you now. You're just this good.
Right.
And so people aren't going to be hitting you with the, oh my God,
Right.
oh my God.
Yeah, you have to learn you have to realize that, like, this morning, actually, it was kind of funny because one of my friends at the gym, we're messaging back and forth on Facebook, and she only knows me as this. Like, you guys know me as what I was.
Yeah.
I've only known her for less than a year. So I sent her, on my Facebook this morning, this is 3 years ago today, I closed on my condo in Mount Pleasant. So they always take a picture when you close on your house.
Yeah.
So that picture popped up on my Facebook, and I was pretty large.
Yeah.
So I sent Amy's her name. I sent her that picture. She wrote back. She's like, "Oh my God, I had no idea that because she had no idea."
Yeah.
So at some point, the accolades and the ooh-ahs, those stop.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of train yourself that most people now know me just as how I am. I mean, my mom still stares at me like I'm a stranger. She even said that. I had dinner at my parents' house last week. She's like, she just starts shaking her head. You know? But
I think that's something you still like, I mean, you probably have to come more so from within, but I think that's something to even be more proud of, is to be like, that's just who I am now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a beast now.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. I think that I think the thing I'm most proud of is I've stuck with it.
Yeah.
Because I remember talking to Sam Schlegel when I was coaching Sammy. I had lost some weight, and the girls on the softball team at Wilmot noticed it, but then I fell right back.
Yeah.
And so Sammy, I haven't seen her in a while, but when I was in the middle of this journey, she's like, "I remember when you lost a bunch of weight." I said, "Yeah," and then I fell back.
Yeah.
I haven't fallen back. I'm proud of that because it takes a lot of consistency. That's the key word, is consistency. You just have to go and do your thing. You're not going to lose weight in a day. You're not going to eat a salad and be 20 pounds lighter. You just
100%,
you just got to, it's a grind.
Yeah.
And there's days when you go to the gym and you're just like, oh my God, as much as I love this place, I hate it right now. I don't want to be here.
Well, I think it's anything worth having too. I think it's anything worth having.
Right.
It's consistent. It's not, the best anything. You have to do it time in and time out.
Look at your show.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had given up after, you've told me that story about the first,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
if we had quit after the first show, it was a disaster.
Right.
So,
I mean, anything, learning to shoot a basketball, learning to do anything like that. You just have to tell yourself, I'm doing this and I'm going to do it every single day, or how many ever days you want. I've taken it probably a little bit to the extreme. I go to the gym 6 days a week.
Yeah.
I could probably cut that back. I may cut that back. I may get to the point where I can go 5 or 4. Mm-hmm. I love it though. And so it's what I like to do. So it doesn't feel like work to me. It feels more like fun, even though when they're kicking even though the trainers are kicking the shit out of us, which they do. And it's hard, but we accomplished so much. The other day we did, in a 45-minute workout, we did 75 push-ups.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine Coach T ever doing 75? And I can do them flat out damn good.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at me.
That's sweet.
Cranking up push-ups.
That's insane.
And so, but you just have to stay with it and stay with the grind. And when things aren't going, and the stresses of the world today have made it harder sometimes. And, but I think just anytime you have such a major change, you're going to have that mental aspect. And I talk through a lot of things with a lot of people. I reach out. That's the other thing too, is I've had an amazing support system.
Yeah, which is important when you're trying to change your reality.
Huge. I mean, from you guys Facebook, people from all over, if you don't have that, my reunion committee just gifted me $300 and some we had left over from our reunion. They just gave it to me.
Wow.
Like, put that towards your surgery.
That's awesome.
It's things like that. The love and the support. If you don't have it, you can't do this alone. And I tried it alone multiple times, and I failed every time because you go through so many different things to get to where you want to be.
And you're going through it alone. It's way harder than we have a team of people to. Yeah.
The other day when I had to skip the gym, I reached out to my little clan, and they all reached back. They're like, "You all right?" I'm like, "I feel really sick." They were checking in on me all day, making sure I was okay, because we have that support, and if someone's having a bad day, which everyone does, I've had my share, we kind of either kick each other in the ass at the gym, or sometimes you need a hug and sometimes you need a swift kick in the ass. It just depends on the day, That's kind of like what coaching is, It's like sometimes you got to kick the kid in the ass, give him a good boot. Other times you got to put your arm around him. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
So, that's without the support, you can't do anything.
Yeah, no, definitely true. Definitely subscribe to that myself. That's all I've got for you, Coach T. Is there anything for me? Any questions for me that you've got? Anything off the top of your head? If not, that's okay too.
Wow, they're putting the pressure on me
Yeah.
to be the interviewer now,
That's-
right?
If not, it's totally okay.
What's next for Detox? Is this year 2?
This is year 2. Yeah, we are 66 episodes deep right now. So,
Dang.
yeah, hope we're gonna be hitting. We'll be hitting 100 later. Well, obviously later this year, and then shortly after that will be like the 2-year celebration.
Awesome.
So like 1 year again. We'll do like a celebration thing. I'm sure. My goal is to get. I want to get some people. I want to see if I can get in touch with some people over at Wilma, because I know they shut down.
Yeah.
Get a couple interviews with some people over there, higher ups, because I'd love to too, for our like celebration and whatnot. Maybe do it there. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Hopefully COVID is with maybe taken care of, or at least in somewhat under control, so we could use the auditorium and
Yeah.
have people spaced out, and I could
How cool would that be?
that would be sick.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I would get
Yeah.
tons of food for it and just
Yeah.
have people enjoy the night. It would be really cool.
Yeah.
Because I love doing it. And I want to do some more live shows once COVID and everything is.
Is this going to be a career for you?
That's
this
the
what you
goal.
wanna do?
I mean, yeah, we got. Hopefully, we keep growing the show.
Mhm.
Get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year is the goal, and then maybe get a second sponsor in here so I can not worry about what I'm going to eat next. So that would be sick. So if any businesses out there want to sponsor the show, please do. That reminds me too. My dad made the joke about writing.
Oh yeah,
a
the
show.
hip hop. Yeah.
I wanted to know how it works, like getting a placement in the news. Like, do you just reach out and whatever? Because
Yeah.
Rebecca Brewer,
Yeah.
she got in the news
Absolutely.
on her first single ever.
Yeah.
And this is no hate towards her. It's a great song. She's super talented, right? But I was so salty when I saw that, because she was in there, like West of the Eye, Twin Lakes Report. And I'm like, motherfuck, I'm from Twin Lakes. I put out like 50 some fucking songs.
She's a lot better looking than you.
Oh, that's very true. I believe
she's-
that.
yeah.
I didn't have any good pictures, but I was
Right.
like, you guys got to be shitting me. She's like front page on Twin Lakes Report.
Right.
All this shit. I was like, you guys.
I
Come
can
on.
hook you up with our. We do have a writer that does.
Well, to be totally fair,
entertainment.
I don't know that it would be like my target demographic anyways.
Probably not.
So, but I just was like, really? Okay, guys. I was like, all right. I was like, Coach T's up in there. We're tight. You've been on my show. Like,
Yeah.
we'd be cool. I was like, how the did I not get in there? And so, that's what I was joking with my dad the other day, because he was asking who was going to be on the show, and I knew he was going to say that because I was supposed to ask you before we went live. So yeah, that's
Well,
bogus.
we do have an entertainment writer.
I mean,
So
there's bigger shit going on in the world right now. I'm not too worried about it.
I can hook you up.
Okay, well, we'll see, because that would be cool. I just like to I want to get tapped into. I want to get some more people on the show.
Yeah.
Like some, other bigger people that, we, share our audience with them. They share their audience with us. So we can keep on growing.
That's how you
that
grow.
way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, although I think you should keep the same motif.
Yeah, that's the goal, is to keep it here until it's making enough money to get a new studio, so I don't have to have people come specifically to this address.
Just don't get kicked out of your mother's house.
Yeah, that would be tough.
You'd be okay then.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll be okay.
if you have to do it like in a tent,
That would be tough.
That
It
would
would
be
be really
interesting.
hard to convince
in
people
the winter
to
would
do
be
that.
hard.
Yeah, we'd get a space heater and a shanty out on the lake. That might be interesting. There
Not-
might be
I
a
think you
niche
should
there.
go. I think you should do some remotes.
Yeah. Well, I want to go do some in person. I was pissed. This guy, All Gas No Brakes on YouTube, super funny. He's not really a journalist. He just but he doesn't even really have an opinion on stuff. He just goes out to these crazy events and will just interview people. He literally just sticks the mic in front of their face, doesn't say anything, or very little at least. And he went to like a Donald Trump Jr. book signing, and these the characters that are there. He went to back when COVID had first started. He was at and this is what I had planned to do. My mom was like, "Don't do it." Girlfriend was like, "Don't do it." Girlfriend's mom was like, "Don't do it." Everybody told me not to, and I'm pissed because his video got millions of views. He went to the stay-at-home protest, the people that were protesting stay-at-home, whatever, and he showed up in a COVID suit, like in a full quarantine suit, and I have a box of them right over there. I'll show you when we're done. And I had them, and I was gonna have my video guy come with me. I was gonna tape a microphone to a broomstick, and I was gonna interview people like this, and then like hand them and stand super far away from them, and just see what they had to say.
Right.
Like just have fun with it. And yeah, I'm pissed that I didn't do that because it blew up. So I would be in a different position right now. I'm sure.
Don't have any regrets.
Yeah, no,
go,
I'm not.
Go with the gut.
I'm not
go with the
listening
gut.
to anybody else.
Don't ever
anymore.
listen to anyone else ever again.
Never. McKenna.
Except for McKenna.
Yeah.
Listen to her.
That's fair. She'd keep me out of trouble.
Absolutely. She's gonna definitely.
Definitely.
She's the smart one in the relationship
That's
for sure.
That's true.
Ooh,
That's true. I want to say, well, thank you, Coach. Thank you for being
Hey,
on.
thanks
I
for
appreciate it.
I love seeing you guys and that we can stay connected. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of, it's kind of nice and quiet tonight, just the two of you.
Yeah, we're just chilling, just a nice, honest conversation. We'll have to get you. I want to get. We'll have to get the whole Wilmot coaching staff on.
I would
here
love to.
sometime.
Yeah,
That'd be crazy. I should get Scott on here too. I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, he's got his kid, and they just bought a house, and yeah, he's all doing this thing. And
I saw he shaved the beard too.
yeah,
recently.
finally that COVID beard was out of control.
Yeah.
He had that thing working. But yeah, Coach E and I still stay in touch and with his wife and kids and stuff. So yeah, that'd be fun.
That
Yeah.
would be fun. Yeah, I would love to have you back, even if it's just us. So.
Actually, I'm doing this. I didn't tell you this, but I'm going to be reffing basketball. I'm getting my basketball officiating license.
Okay, cool. Where are you gonna ref? Here?
Well, I'm going to be around here.
Okay, cool.
But I won't. I mean, I won't be able to do varsity for a while because I'll be like low on the totem pole. But I want to get. My goal is to get Wilmot JV games and kick Nick McGinn right out of the gym.
That's
my
beautiful.
goal.
That would be poetic justice.
Absolutely.
Right there. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. And Matty O can coach then when I kick
That,
him
yeah,
out.
that would be hilarious.
Then he can finally get his first win. I'm going to kick Matty O out too.
Exactly. Kick his ass out.
Right?
Matt's a
Take that, Matty O, if you're listening.
Yeah, he'll probably tune in at some point, I'm sure. Well, with all that being said, I want to say thanks again, Coach, for being on. Thank you to Kenosha Auto Insurance for sponsoring this episode. Our patrons are up on the screen right now. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Really appreciate you. I think me and Meg are actually working out a date for her to be on the show soon, so look out for that. And yeah, appreciate everybody who tuned in today. Appreciate if you're listening on Spotify the day after. Thank you for that. We're out on Spotify now too, so be on the lookout for that. And then thanks for being on, Coach.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me. Love it.
Awesome, guys. This is episode 66 of the Detox Podcast. I will see you guys